titanium. We send it to you. It's fucking beautiful.
What?
There we go.
Oh, cool, dude.
Yeah.
Is that metal?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Did you make that?
No, he did. This is a friend from high school.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
He's made that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's the piece that he made me.
Nice.
Jason.
Raider.
Oh, it's your Fallout armor?
My asshole's gone. Hey, what's going up here second? What do you think?
Have you seen Full Metal Alchemist?
Butthole back.
I never really watched it.
Back. There's an anus in my back, isn't there?
So
Look,
the armor in the middle
Glasses,
is from that show.
what?
He made that in high school.
Wow, that's
So-
impressive.
It's
No tricks,
it's to
no
scale
script,
to
just
what the guy is in
hard
that
cash.
thing. And
Crash.
that armor just lives
Shit,
in
my
his
shit.
like living room.
Yeah,
He takes out the cons and whatnot.
that's funny.
That's great.
He's actually had to retire the brother character to that one because the piece he did for
Okay,
that.
that's like the
Since blacksmithing, his
Yeah.
arm,
what do
his
they call
arms
it?
have gotten so big
Like
it
the
doesn't
fast
fit
video
anymore. So he's like, I got to retire it.
Oh.
That's funny.
Yeah, he is very talented.
If you just look at the stuff that Bill gives you, you know it's just
Like
going to
there's
be
the back of it.
traumatic. You know it's going to be traumatic.
That's cool, man.
He is, like I said,
You stamped it away, can you?
Oh yeah, I forgot to put Burroughs in. That's funny.
so. The
I
one
just-
that I showed you the picture
what
of
am I
was the
even
second one he
watching?
made me because the first one got stolen out of my storage unit a couple years ago. I told him, like, dude, I still have the template if you want. I'm like, do it. I
It's a
got
push me
paid
pull.
back for it.
Yeah.
So he's like, and I learned some shit. So he make the second one was even better. There's the
What are you watching?
she's watching monkeys fucking. That's what it sounds like.
No.
So there's the front of
It's a
the card
dollhouse.
plate right there.
That's cool.
Fucking doom scrollers, man.
What are you? No, that's straight hentai that she's watching.
No.
No.
Not nasty. It's
Oh. Another one he retired was a metal trench coat that he built again
No,
in
it's-
high
it's
school.
almost
It
like
was all steel. He's like, I have to get rid of it. Plates are
watching
sharp.
Sebastian
It's heavy.
Stan
Yeah.
Film,
I'll remake it later.
A grown man with porcelain dolls.
The grown man playing with porcelain dolls.
It's
They're weird dolls.
it's
And then,
But it's a grown man playing with a dollhouse.
It's a mood.
It's a mood.
It's a mood.
It's a mood.
it was
I love it. It's a mood.
and then that's the
Did you watch it to the very end?
armor
No.
keeper's wife from Avatar.
Okay.
Oh, dude, it's tight.
All out of
Yeah,
copper.
dude.
That's cool.
Did we finish on a long rest, or is it still
We-
during?
It's the
or
next
did all of
morning.
it happen after breakfast?
All happened after breakfast. We got on the ship and we flew out. We're flying out. I believe.
Where you guys going? The Crown Spire?
No, we're going to the
Rust door.
the door where they found the goblin trap.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was the note I forgot to write down.
The simian people.
We prep the ship and
The
head out to the
laboratory.
tottering cave.
The lab,
Tottering cave?
New cave,
I have
but
tottering
Tottering
cave.
Rock.
lab
Okay,
within
the Tottering
the Tottering Rock.
100-foot rusted iron door with writing.
Simian
right.
experimental room, extinct race in Calisha.
Simian
extinct for
room.
a while.
That's right. Okay. Now that was the only note I forgot to take. I had
Half
all
a
the other ones. I
day
forgot
to
that
get
one.
there. Half a day to get there in the skip.
Yeah. Oh shit! I can't believe you guys are actually going there. I didn't
We're
really
going
expect
to
that.
Tottering Rock. We're crazy. We're crazy. We're crazy.
You
We're
just
crazy.
talked me into it. I thought we were going to go to the other place.
Well, I mean, we can still go to Crown Spire and cause mischief.
No, not Crownspire, to the islands.
There's that too.
I thought that's where we were going.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe. Possibly. I don't trust anywhere that we're supposed to be on.
So, where we last left off,
Press anything.
the team had woken up to breakfast after finally returning to the Takit estate within the mire, and having some time not traveling. Unfortunately, we begin to learn a lot more about Takit and Baruch's relationship. This seems to happen accidentally, as Takit goes back down into his laboratory like he normally does, where we had the big reveal that Takit and Baruch are related. Baruch is Takit's father, possibly,
Sort
allegedly. And it would appear that Takit has been working on scientific or alchemical and lab experiments in hope of perfecting something called transference, which happens to also link us to Osmodeus's owl, possibly as well, because the transference effect that the owl may be linked to its wizard consciousness may be relatable to the island off the coast of the
Doonrock Bay.
Doonrock Bay, correct. However, we now also know that Amazonia seems to be the lead of a vanguard of vengeful squirrel folk, or is she squirrelkin? That's right, vengeful squirrelkin,
Would you like that?
that seem to be looking for the individual responsible for the destruction of their world. And they think they have found him, and he goes by the name of Takit. Multiple instances of genocide and destruction by the great mad lich that now hides within the boundaries of a new world. Oops, did I say that out loud? However, we also learn of a place, a location in the Tottering Rock Mesa in the Myers Valley, what was once just a valley of rock and abandonment. It appears either through natural or potentially unnatural means. A massive door has been exposed with a series of strange, I guess.
Oh god, Calisha's just one giant.
Would anybody? No one actually knows how to speak common.
What's common?
So how was it translated? How did we translate that originally?
I speak common.
I speak common.
No, you speak
We speak Calishan.
Calisha common.
We don't speak old common.
You don't speak
it
the
was
common of
the
humanity.
Squirrel. I don't think. we
Oh, the
know.
squirrel can,
Yeah.
because they've been
We know.
looking for humans, a particular human specifically she is the only one that knows how to speak traditional common.
Yeah.
And
We
she
don't know what
translated
it
it
says.
because of the geese. The geese affect the forced her to translate it, I thought.
I don't. Did she? I don't think she told us.
She did.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, the
That's
geese
how
can't
you know.
go against us now.
Yeah, the geese forced her to reveal the information to keep when he.
Because I wrote it in parentheses because I thought she hadn't told us.
She told
It
us,
said
and
old
then
rusted iron door with writing he didn't recognize. But okay, so she told us, but she didn't tell Snaggletooth.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
and then she reported back to her squirrely superior.
Her squirrely superior. So with that,
Squirrel.
it is mid-morning. You guys are on the airship. Hans and Franz, or Hans and Alva, are down working on the engine. You guys are traveling. You got about half a day until you get there. It's not very far. Should arrive there probably in the evening. What would
So
you guys like
more
to
than
do?
4 hours?
Serve Hans
4
and Franz
6
some,
hours.
some.
I'm gonna take a nap.
Rest?
No, long. I only need 4 hours to rest.
So you're going to take a long rest?
Yeah, that way I
Okay.
get my spell
Still?
slots back.
Okay.
Still?
Hey.
No, you're human now. It takes 8 hours.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So I gotta change my. Do I need to go in and change my race?
Yeah, you're human.
I can flinch
Oh,
you.
no.
You know, take all the meat
So-
off your bones. Turn you back.
Play,
into
you
it.
mean?
Well, you know, flinching knife. You know what flinching knife is?
Why
Flinching
can't
knife.
you just say play? It's a more common term
Flay,
as
use a
opposed to your
different-
old man.
He wanted.
term.
He wanted to be.
I don't want to be like you, you
Yay.
boomer.
It's gonna be great.
Not while he's drinking. He's gonna snort it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how this tastes. It's not the first time I've said that.
I didn't say anything.
I know.
It's not my fault this
I
time.
know.
All right, question: am I doing out of the humans that are under
That's the
that race?
Cheez-Its.
Am I just picking plain human? There's like
You can do human variant would be more accurate.
okay, because there's the one that's like Afrin lineage.
You'd be more human variant.
Okay. Human.
Is what
Okay,
Ivar
yeah.
gave you taste in your mouth?
No, this is what
Freeze
Kyle
dry.
gave me,
What is it?
and it tastes really good. It hits you right in the back of the throat.
I bet it
I mean,
does.
the
The
lemonhead.
freeze dried lemons.
Wait, let me check and see if there's.
See if there's gluten.
So Kyle's
if
treat
there's
hits
no
you right in the back
gluten
of the throat?
in freeze dried Skittles, there's probably no gluten in those.
Yeah, I think you're
You may not get that.
I better get those. I haven't even tried them yet.
How she feels your treat right in the back of the throat.
Oh my god.
I know.
Are they good?
Yeah.
You need to put those in vodka?
Oh no.
Oh, for like a kamikaze?
Dude, that's insane. That's good.
I got them
Well,
at
you can
Target.
Just put regular
so-
lemon heads, which are a whole lot cheaper than freeze dried lemon heads.
Yeah, but these will dissolve better.
Yeah.
The powder.
They'll dissolve faster, not better.
They'll dissolve better.
Bizarre.
'Cause, a
Baby.
traditional lemonade will never dissolve.
It takes
It
forever.
would take forever. Never. Your drink would be gone before it
Well,
dissolved
you don't
properly.
need it to fully dissolve
I'm
because the
talking
inside's kind of hard.
In the bottom of it. Sit.
Oh, that?
Those are
Yeah. Well, that's a different conversation.
I need to get a
Right.
freeze dryer now.
They're expensive.
I know.
I looked into it.
Get one and then just go to the Dollar Tree buy lemonade candies.
No,
It's probably cheaper to buy them in
there's a
bulk.
store in Woodcrest. That's all they do. It's called Unicorn something.
Unicorn farts.
I thought it was
Something like
unicorn poop.
Midday, or actually, technically, it's only mid-morning.
Well,
We're
for
expected
initiative.
to arrive there early evening.
Do I get to choose?
Nine.
It says I get a feat of my choice.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll look
Yeah.
at that.
You have two of them. A left one and a right one.
Technically, I have three. I have a left one, a right one, and a middle one.
That's not foot.
Those are knees. The left knee, the right knee, and the wee knee.
You know what, Ivar? You're right. You go sit somewhere else. You're the problem.
You need to have a corner. You need to have a Callista
If
corner.
it wasn't a round room, I'd have a corner.
From their silence.
Yeah, right. The cone heads. The cone of silence.
They don't get smart.
Oh, there's that one too. So,
Yeah, flip.
What?
mid-morning, the airship is not very high up in the air. The tottering, the just wrote it down. Where'd it go? Well, I was looking at my other note. The tottering rock valley sits between the edge of the mire and the beginning of the Mire Mesa plateau. It's the midpoint of the north of the mired valley. While originally you went east and freed those particular goblins that now work for you back at the estate, this is north of your estate. This would be the border region before reaching the outskirts of the Crown Spire. So it's about a 4 to 6 hour flight, as long as the weather holds and whatever else might happen.
Oh, yeah, we're on our way to Crown Spire, huh?
No, you're on your way to the Tottering Rock to go investigate the Simian lab.
All right.
My new dice don't like rolling high.
Well, that's because you're sober.
He got him special for you.
I have to get drunk for my dice to roll high.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Seems
Do you have any of
logical to
that
me.
Prosecco in the back?
No, it's all home. So what are you guys doing? Got about half a day before you get there.
Is Furl with us and Hans and Alva with us?
Hans and Alva are running the airship, both the engine and the helm's deck. We'll say Amazonia is
Look out.
doing her best to stay up
Mhm.
in the crow's nest
With Belfry.
I don't know if she'd be with Belfry. She's too tasty to be with Belfry alone.
The squirrel?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's where
Far.
Belfry sits.
far too tasty. Not when you guys travel.
Oh,
Normally
told-
he's circling the airship and keeping an eye out.
I never told Belfry not to eat her.
She hot?
yeah.
Squirrels go.
Spicy.
I bring Hans and Alva a heaping portion of crab for lunch with fucking butter.
It has a lot of extra eyes on it.
It
Right?
came in tins that said Acquisitions Incorporated on it.
Yeah, straight from them.
With lots of eyes.
Limited edition. It says sentient crab.
With a hint of succubus.
Yeah.
On the lid, there's just Dark Fire Gem with a crap leg.
Sentient cursed crab.
Doing the
Limited edition.
Right, new export.
Yeah, and it's like, it's got the crab. It's got her on the side going.
Real imitation.
Like your Rick and Morty.
Crap.
Mm-hmm.
All
Plotting
right.
on.
Like, all right. Well, anyways, on the way there, I cast sleep.
On myself.
Free bite.
I can talk to my owl.
Well, I'm just, sitting like I normally do. Talking to my owl. Looking crazy.
From the deck of the
How's
ship,
that
you can
different from
see
the-
Belfry, just doing those lazy loops, kind of keeping an eye on things. You can see the mesa spires beginning to form, the mired valley rock beds beginning to kind of come up on the edge. It's now midday at this point. You guys have been traveling for a couple hours. So far, nothing on the horizon. No immediate threat.
Okay.
What are you doing, Bill?
looking like
Mm.
strumming away on my loop.
Okay.
Still, again,
You still have the hat of disguise on
Yeah,
for the
go ahead,
purposes
I'm
of
going.
the other people you might run into.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Was I in the room when you were?
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
I do anything?
No, it did not trigger your memory.
because
But you have to call down
You were
before
in-
you
we were separated when I did it.
Yeah.
Originally.
He spoke
Yeah.
in a strange voice.
I'll take alert next time.
Okay.
So you have like a plus
Okay,
15 initiative bonus or
I'm
something.
gonna hold off on while you're sleeping.
No, I'm just strumming on the loop.
No, he's asleep or he's awake now because he's not dead anymore.
I'm gonna
Why did
hold
cheese
off
it
on
always
it,
get caught
I
in the back?
can't use
Right back here.
Oh wait, no, I use time to attune to the
Or they get caught.
the flight.
yeah.
I'm gonna hold
Oh,
off
it's
on
stuff in
doing the memory recall spell until after we built the kitty about it. I might need my energies.
Why are we going this cave?
We
But
were
it's-
going
we're
to
on our
the
way back
cave
and
because
there's
something cool
nothing
there
dangerous
and
there.
writing the
Whatever
Oh
happened
my
to us going
God.
to Crown Spire?
That's next.
Okay.
Well, there were
No,
three
no,
possible
no,
destinations.
No, Crownspire was bad.
No, Crownspire wasn't bad. Crownspire said mischief we could do. Going to Danica was extremely bad.
no. Yeah.
Dragon Cave was neutral. It felt like there was nothing there. Danica was extremely bad.
Oh, you're talking about
Centerpoint-
your augury outcomes? Yeah.
Centerpoint said mischief we could do. I mean, you know,
Or-
Mischief.
No, Crownspire.
Crownspire, Centerpoint.
Well, no, Center Point.
Crownspire.
Yeah.
Crownspire. Sorry. I
Yeah,
don't know
Center
what-
Point is possibly near Danica.
Mm-hmm.
in the center of the Central Waste is what I have.
Central
written.
Wastes. That is where the
Crownspire?
peace treaty was signed
Hold on, I'm gonna
by
look.
his father over 1,000 years ago. That brought the Seven Kingdoms to a
Right,
peaceful
Crownspire. I
occurrence.
don't know why I
Yeah.
wrote Centerpoint and meant Crownspire.
Yeah.
That's where they're that's where they're doing all of the. It's closed.
The borders
closed,
are
the
closed.
borders are
because
closed.
They're
that would be Center Point. Yes.
The Centerpoint is where we were talking. Was mischief we could do.
No, Center Point is where they signed the treaty over 1,000 years ago.
I'm talking about.
That's also where they picked the council to sit at the table at Center Point. And now that they're in the process of picking that council, the borders are closed and there's no way in.
That was what we were talking about.
Right. But that's
Going
Center
into
Point.
Mischief in Centerpoint. Yeah.
But the problem was that it's also where Danica is located, somewhere in the Central Wastes.
Right.
Center Point's in the middle. Danica is somewhere in the Central Waste.
Crownspire's not the center.
No, Crownspire is part of your group that you live within. So, hold on, let me get it
We
up.
Well,
live, on
that's-
the, we live on the edges. Of
You're in
this.
you're in Crooked Finger. So Crooked Finger, the capital of the Crooked Finger is Crownspire.
So we've been there all.
That's where you originally met the Astral family, and then met up with the Master Spy, who wanted you to go up to the capital city of Char and
There was-
retrieve
there
his
was
spies.
Centerpoint that we were talking about, where there was mischief we could do, sneaking into Centerpoint.
You could sneak in, yeah, you could.
Right. That's what the.
And then the next augury was Danica.
And then the next augury was Salt Cave, and we went there. It said it felt like the guns were still there, and they were. We went and dug them up. And then Pebble Sands, which was the island that I needed.
The island off the southern coast of Dune Rock Bay.
You need to go there too. I just don't.
And I don't know that, but I want to go there. So you know, I've
But we've discussed that.
influenced
And,
Chris. to
yeah,
go
we've discussed it. That's where I wanted to go next. But this came.
Yeah, but we can go here and then either go to Pebble Sands or go to sneak into Centerpoint and cause mischief.
Okay. I mean, you guys got at least 4 hours of this journey if there's anything else you want to work on the journey before you get there. You'll get there around evening.
What do I recall about going into my basement?
Nothing.
Do I recall going into my basement?
Yes, you recall having a very successful period of research in your basement.
Excellent.
I'm playing.
That's what you were researching?
Yeah. Oh, him? Yeah.
Playing with your bones.
He's playing with his bone dolls.
No, Daddy, don't touch me there.
Oh my God, that's like 3 in a row for you.
touch me there.
I'm gonna try and put the filter on.
See,
Are you sure?
Do you
Gonna
know what a
try.
filter is?
No, don't make the model anymore.
see, folks. Now, when you go to your next session with your psychologist or psychiatrist, you can go. Yeah, you know what? I did watch this one game.
At least I'm not burning.
Stop watching that game.
At least I'm not her.
Oh, man.
Yeah, right. You know what? I'm gonna end my sessions because I thought it was really bad, but actually not.
Could have been worse. Could have been worse.
I'm sitting in the corner talking to my owl.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I forgot to remind everyone is that because of the final discovery of the cipher, you guys now know the name of the house in West Luna Verde within the Soundless Coast, which is the House Vanyan, is one of the key names that has come up in regards to the smuggling of all the normalized weapons and equipment too. And then they have been smuggling out the altered and augmented weapons after they receive it.
Should I tell?
Well, fuck that. Let's turn around.
Where did you say they were? In Soundless Coast?
It's Soundless Coast in the capital city of the Siren's Rest, House Vanyan. Nope, sorry, strike that. Fractured North, capital city of Crater. Sorry.
In the
Well, I could do ascending to.
north, in the capital
I
city.
want to call him Killian.
Crater. Krater.
Killian, right?
The hobgoblin.
I don't think he ever answered you, did
He
he?
didn't answer us the last time he
He
talked
didn't
to us.
answer.
No,
that
he didn't
time.
answer us the last time,
No,
but
he said, we're done.
We're done and never talk
Yeah.
to me again.
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah,
Fuck off.
yeah,
You did
been
mention
on
it,
so many turns.
by the way. Keep in mind.
No, I meant in my recap.
Oh.
Yeah. I know I mentioned it in the session.
Yeah.
Because I was there.
In the sesh.
Just,
Totally.
I mean, we could always tell
Totally.
Killian that, hey, we came across another piece of information about the smuggled weapons. What's what you about?
no.
Or we could just go and got some fuckery.
No.
Don't look at me. I don't know what's going
I'm
on.
thinking of becoming an arms dealer.
Like you have maggots on the main deck of the ship, his legs crisscrossed and kicked up on a spare keg of powder.
Saddle rope.
And he's just kind of like watching his bat kind of circle the ship. And he's just kind of like mumbling notes to himself, like he's his own secretary. Yeah, I mean, if I became a smuggler, I could do arms. Yeah, some of that stuff could blow up entire cities.
Kill
People
that,
love
kill
me for
that squirrel.
Kill that squirrel.
Don't like the cheap axe. I don't like her face.
But I did build a palanquin for her with a jetpack.
I forgot we had this kick-ass jetpack.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, well, yeah, you have the luminary shard packs.
I wanted to sound like the Jetsons.
And it's like as you guys are kind of meandering on the deck, just kind of doing your own thing. You watch his hands comes up on the deck because he's done with the engine, but he's got the pack on. You just watch him, and he just starts.
I go,
I cast right as
And
he's
he's
doing
just
that.
circling
As
the
I see
ship.
Maggot doing that, I'm going to cast prestidigitation, and you see little fireworks coming like out of Hans's.
but
Yeah,
And then Belfry's kind of like banking and following with him in the contrails. And then eventually you watch his hand lands on the deck of the ship, takes off his goggles, and there's soot all over his face, and all the edges of his hair are burnt and crisp. And yeah, they work. Okay. Sets it on the side and heads back down.
cool.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go ahead and
You're such
He's
an
never gonna
asshole.
let that down. I mean, he's never gonna let it go.
No, he's
never
not.
gonna let it go.
That's how
Can't
you
get-
know. That's how you know what AG really is. You just can't let it go.
All right.
Sorry, folks. Inside joke.
Anyone want to do anything in the 4 hours that we're traveling?
It's up to you guys.
I want to shop. I'm just
I
kidding.
want to shop too. Can we pull out like that little boy that pops up and becomes a shop? Just kidding. You know, I've played one too many.
I have no idea where she got that from. So, anyways, Bill,
I'm going to
Kyle, and Ivar.
I'd like to make an Arcana check
I played
to see if I
World
can
War
figure out
II.
how to
Maggot goes here.
make the
Take a hit of this.
ring, because it's
No,
an
no,
attunement, the ring of flying,
Mm-hmm.
to make it, see if there's a way to make it non-attunement,
Did you bring your zombies with you?
or to transfer
Um,
the enchantment of flying to, say, a boot.
Zombie.
I mean, if you were to disenchant it and then try to re-enchant it, maybe, but it might be way above your arcanic understanding on how to do that.
How many things that you have that need
Technically, I have 4. And I don't have the ring. There's no ring of flying. I didn't make one. I just threw in a ring of flying, which is not. So I'm attuned currently to the Hat of Disguise, the Ring of Charisma, and the Ring of Flying. Those are my 3.
And which one do you have that needs attunement that you're not using?
A Cloak of Elven Kind. The cloaks that they were the cloaks that were given when we were trying to.
Yeah, but those don't require too.
Those don't require attunement. They do in D&D Beyond.
They
but
do
our
indeed
cloaks-
beyond. But
Okay, so
yeah,
then-
no,
okay,
they don't
yeah,
require two.
Our cloaks
Because they're a single flavor thing. They only do one thing.
Any dead animal from this type of shit?
For all of Hans and Alva's eccentricities, no, it's pretty.
clean.
Yeah, Hans is very much a very kind of spick and span traditional engineer. He believes in a clean work environment if you're going to work in it, and he worked on that ship for at least 2 days before you guys came back on board to head up to the why can't I remember this?
What we need to-
Tittering Rock.
Tottering Rock. To the Tottering Rock.
Oh, do
Hey,
we?
Maggie.
Yeah.
Can you see if Belfry spots any dead animals or anything down on the ground? Bring it back on experiment.
Yeah, sure.
How far down is the
Now my hand seems light.
Watch it, Belfry. That looks at you.
Go find dead things. Bring them back.
Flies up in the air. Before long, you lose sight of her as she heads down into the rocks and the.
Hey, it's a boy.
This one's a boy.
Oh, that's right. This one's a boy. Yeah, as he heads down into the rocks.
I
to look
checked
for
under the fur.
Yeah, it's
to,
got bad
to dead.
junk.
Checked under the rabid
There's
infected
that whole
flesh
10-minute
feet.
rabbit hole that we went down. They're like, hey, look, you can actually see their.
Which of course I googled and showed
Yeah, I know.
pictures of
That's
it.
why it's. Yeah,
It really is
Big
neat.
old dicks.
it really is.
They do.
What's the common denominator?
Weirds. I would say within about an hour, you see Belfry flying, and he places a dead deer on the deck.
Thank you.
Flies off again.
First, did you take the meat off the bones?
Skin goes one way, the meat goes another way, the bones go another way.
Right.
I'm gonna fart around with just to see if I can do it.
Okay. You invoke animate dead. You watch as the reanimated
Is that
deer
what
is
you
now
do?
standing in front of you, tottering on its
I don't
bony
remember.
end leg.
Uh,
Skull just kind of
Oh yeah.
wiggling back and forth.
There's nothing unusual. They're just still regular skeletons.
No, it seems to be a thrall of sorts.
it's I have to say it's weird, like watching you talk, and you have lips now.
Kind of sways
I have
under
the
your
disguise,
touch.
though.
Oh, you do?
It's-
Oh, I don't know that. Do I know that? You showed the
Yeah,
dinner table? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll just experiment with it.
Why do you gotta-
See if I can do anything.
Why do you got the?
Okay.
Do you want a goblin human looking fucker around you?
Oh,
After
that's
what happened as a
right.
kid?
You're one of those grown-up.
Yeah,
Pink things.
apparently I'm an adult of what that little pink thing was.
Yeah,
He's a
pink
pink goblin.
goblin. You're a
Farouk.
pink hobgoblin.
Farouk. See if you can reflesh this skeletal deer.
I'm missing some
Here's some luminary shard dust.
Oh, he gets some, huh?
And he needs it for the spell. So
Yeah, who got you the bones to begin with?
Light on
Dude,
what
you
it
have a lot of
needs.
money now.
Come on, more.
I'm gonna walk
You never
up to
have
the,
enough
the
money.
skull of it. Take out my chipped ass dagger. That I was
Which
using.
luminary shard is it?
this is the refined.
I want a genie.
The like super
what they
refined
do
stuff?
in shadows.
Okay.
So you got your skin.
Okay.
I
I
just,
want a genie
like
that.
right at the skull of it. I just started.
As he's slowly infusing with the spell and the effect of the luminary shard dust, the ultra refined, you watch as it's just a growing patchwork of flesh, and then the eyeball grows back, and
I had to watch that.
and then it kind of like stops based on the amount he used. So it's a partially regrown flesh head of a deer.
There's like a tongue just.
Yeah, like it's like chew exposed, you know, where it's like flesh, but then bone on this side, the tongue's
It's
walled out.
Two-Faced.
No,
Yeah.
no, out of character. We did greater restoration.
Yes.
Yes.
And cure wounds.
It's kind of funny watching him get everybody involved in his freaky ass experiments. He's got you helping now. He's
I
got
just
you. I
wanted to
want to
be
cast
more
spells to help him make this horrible fucking deer thing.
Hey, look at the right side.
You know he's just gonna throw it overboard when he's done playing with it.
No, we're gonna eat it.
I want to break it down to get the luminary shard back.
I forgot you're a bird. We eat anything.
You assume it's recoverable.
Can you try and heal it?
Your wounds.
But
It
cure wounds on an
heals-
undead causes wounds.
It heals.
I can't.
It heals enough of the flesh for it to look finished at certain patches, but it feels like you need a good portion of luminary shard, especially that ultra refined stuff. And while this is an animal creature, it's definitely not humanoid. So maybe there's some differences between that. Hard to tell. Give me a medicine check.
How much
On
did
that.
you use?
I had 2 pounds.
You have a quarter pound left. You used almost all of it to make it work.
I got out of. I'm gonna lie to him.
Okay.
Out of the pound that I used, I have about an eighth of a pound left.
7.
7?
Other medicine.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to know. Hard to understand its effect between the two differences.
I'm
What'd you get?
thinking-
A medicine check?
I'm thinking.
I mean, if it was avian, you know, Eric Cochran
If it was
interpretation.
humanoid, I might know better.
Yeah, other than that, it's just, yeah, it's hard to really understand
It's a
what
sheep.
this
I don't know.
Hey, boss,
I'm thinking it would.
why don't you use
I
it on
got
yourself?
20.
for a medicine check.
Yeah.
You get the feeling that it's reacting differently because of what it is. And I gotta put this with a 20. It's reacting to
There's no soul.
It's reacting to the fact that
no,
you're
no.
Let me say this.
It's a 20. Hold on.
Do you want us to leave?
No, because you've already done it to yourself, and this might make sense. The creatures from Calisha, so it's not reacting to it the same way it did to you.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, they'll just hear me go. Ah.
Is it because we didn't use enough, or because the
That
raw
and external
materials were
factors.
different?
That and external factors.
I'm thinking because
It's
the
from
animated
here.
you,
It's set. I'm not.
intrinsic magical pills.
But whatever
It's 'cause he's a
whatever
big
they
goblin.
said that how humans can do magic without, and I'm going to like have to let dust slip over on my fingers. Without this,
Yes. Yeah, the
it's
magic in,
in
this world
me,
is
so that
not-
boosted the power of whatever.
You have a natural connection to magic. It does not.
Exactly.
I do as well. So,
Problem. Let's cut off your arm and try.
I'm gonna roll an
No,
I'm gonna roll an
that's
insight.
not-
No, seriously.
So like the general discussion?
No.
Or-
Yeah, through this general discussion, because I had been there when he showed me the planet that had the humans on it
Uh-huh.
and all that.
Yeah.
Did they get rid of us?
Did they hold
I
us?
really wish you guys wouldn't pay so much attention.
Are we a dumping ground for all the
We're a prison-
shit that
We're
they didn't want
Australia,
on-
motherfucker.
that all the shit creatures they didn't
not
want on their
quite
planet?
that, not in that framework of understanding. It feels more like as you're listening. Well, give me an insight check, and based
Are
on
we
your,
an experiment?
well, give me an insight
Okay.
check, and I'll tell you what your
earlier.
No,
interpretation
we're
is.
exiled because we don't have the natural connection. We're non-believers.
No, this world is cut off because of that.
No.
A 24.
No, this
What'd you
world-
get?
A 24.
So, as you're listening to this conversation, watching them do experiments on the deer, talk about this idea that luminary shard doesn't work on the deer because it's from here, this idea of natural connection with magic, not to mention all the information you learned about the augmented weapons and the understanding now, the basic understanding of something called humans. You get the feeling that this world was found by other cultures and other lineages that were escaping a genocidal race or like lineage of creatures called humans.
Religious persecution.
Not even religious persecution, just
We're the new world.
you're that safe place people have flee to, fleeing humans.
Puritans.
And,
I was
and
gonna say.
that's why,
Did
you know, listen to this conversation.
No,
While
that's-
some of it's meta, because even though out of character,
Yeah.
we know Takit's true nature and his relationship with Baruch through his secret lab, from a contextual standpoint, you guys are just now beginning to realize that this human lineage,
This is a sanctuary planet.
this is a sanctuary planet for those that don't trust these humans, is what it feels like.
No,
I
it's
just
a
look
zoo.
at him.
It's a zoo. Out of character. A zoo.
No, it's definitely not a zoo. Zoos don't get this dangerous.
And then
It's a
now,
zoo.
the second question I have is, how'd these two fuckos get here?
Well, I don't look human.
No, he doesn't look human.
What's he look like?
Like Takit.
You don't.
Looks like
I didn't say
anything
that
that you
I'm
want
his
him to
father, though.
You're like you don't know that they're their lineage. They're still their normal selves to you.
Yeah. You know, I'm a human. You don't. The only one who knows that I am his allegedly his father is.
Okay, okay.
Kaya.
All right. I don't want to
Yeah.
meta anything. I'm just
I
No,
don't
no, it's
think
fine.
He knows. We didn't tell.
Unless
Yeah.
I'm in the basement.
Yeah.
Right.
And actually, what you've also learned through some of that reveal is whenever he leaves his laboratory in the basement, whatever spell he's concocted to alter his memory, there are safety layers to prevent it from being triggered as well. Although there are certain things that would trigger the remembrance of things based on successes. And even though his organic transference has been successful, that's not what's waiting to trigger his memory. The one recent thing that triggered your memory was Pebbles Rock,
Double sand.
or was Pebbles Sands.
I just thought that I should go there.
Okay.
You just felt that you felt unnaturally compelled to go there, although there may be a connection to the simian lab as well.
Really?
All right.
So with that, evening arrives. You have a animated deer thrall for 8 hours, so or 24 hours technically.
Well, we already stripped out the flesh, so we could eat that, right?
I think
I
it was
wouldn't.
dead. I don't
Oh,
think-
it was carrion.
Um,
He
That
said
is
bring back a
perfect for
dead
you.
animal. Didn't say kill an animal. He just said bring back a dead animal.
So you pick its rotten eye.
There's some of him crawling in it.
There's some. Is there maggots in it? No. Ghelfi already ate all the maggots off of it. He loves
I'm sure
insects.
you need carrying too.
Some of it, not all of it.
Otherwise, I was outside.
Told you.
Done with it.
we're flying
Careful.
over.
Careful, buddy.
Someone might eat
There's
that.
like
Here's
there's
still
an
there, right?
isolated kobold clan walking through the mesa. And this seer. But before it does that, the shaman kobold gets in front of the dozen or so tribe. Yeah. If we're going the right way, she will offer us a sign. That's the sign. That's the sign.
Is it alive enough to it goes like this?
The partially animated deer off.
Skeleton deer.
Shoot, so stop moving. Well, it has hit points. You just threw it 1,000 feet off the ship. So.
No. Before that.
Oh, just the meat and skin and everything? Okay.
If they were gonna throw it out, I'm like, wait, and slice off.
So it's raining awful?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. You aren't that. Look. That ain't your character. That ain't your character, bro.
I was gonna keep fucking around with it.
You didn't kill it before you threw it off. There's no way you
no,
would have
No,
done
he,
it.
he didn't throw the
I-
skeleton
I
off.
threw the
It was
carrion.
all of
Oh.
the
You
meat.
threw the op.
The skin is
Oh, okay.
Skin, the meat, or the remnants.
So now we got the stupid half alive deer on ship.
It's a perfect target practice for the goblins back home.
It's not going to last that long.
Probably not.
No.
Did that to you. Whatever he does to
The sun sets on the horizon. You guys find yourself gradually floating down into the tottering rocks. Before long, it sets at about 20 feet above the landscape. It is a large semicircle valley with lots of flat mesa-like stones, but they're granite stones, and they're flat.
He's truly alive now, as far as I can tell.
There's a heartbeat.
He's a living creature, no longer animated. As
Correct.
far as I can tell.
Fix my tendon.
Have I had to
Fix my
pee
tendon.
yet?
Through the course of today's activities, you've experienced many
Okay.
bodily
As
functions.
soon as I'm like,
You can
I
get
gotta.
over now.
Oh, I
You
already,
wake up
I knew that last night.
Woke up, yeah. Holy shit.
When I feel that urge before we land, I'm
It's
like,
like a kid with a new
I walk,
toy.
I walk,
Right?
I walk to the back of the ship. I move the war gong, and I just
Maggot.
make it rain.
I come out. Whose sock?
Who's sticky
Don't-
I
sock?
cracked it in half.
Belfry worm.
You guys feel the airship settle right above the valley. It gets its name from the fact that it's not traditional mesa landscape. It's flat granite rocks that all kind of balance on top of other like rock formations, which has always been called Tottering Rock Valley. As far as you know, it's been here for a long time. Most of the hunters that come out here to hunt this landscape don't normally run across anything interesting other than shale raptors, granite snakes, some other wilds that would be out here. Occasionally larger dinosaurs will forage out in this area. But ever since the hunting parties have been coming back and they reported this door with this writing on it, since you guys are kind of all looking down into the valley, everyone give me perception or survival. Your choice.
Ooh, that's gonna be good.
Perception. Of course, survival. Plus so much on it.
Remember, if you're proficient,
You have advantage.
Well, that's even better.
We're playing with Gambler's Luck too, right? For combat encounters.
31.
31. Okay. 11.
21.
I'm half
24.
proficient.
As a group, looking down into the valley, who rolled for survival? You did survival? Who rolled for perception?
My survival and
Okay.
my perception are the same. So
Well, the outcome's different in information. If you roll a survival, you see it one way. If you roll perception, you see it a different way.
we're both plus 4.
Fuck, I
five,
can't
It doesn't about
Shit.
skill.
Just pick one.
It doesn't matter about the,
survival.
or it doesn't matter about the bonus. Okay,
Here.
survival.
Flip a coin.
So anybody that rolled with survival, you would see a facade of rock that looked like it collapsed in on itself, and there's an exposed opening within the rock. For those that you rolled perception, you would see, as the sun is setting, a gleam of rust on the interior of the rock collapse. So some of you see the door, and some of you see the landfall from the earthquake. But the north end of the Tottering Rock Valley seems to be where the hunters have reported what they saw. Something, or either natural or unnatural, caused a rock fall here, and has exposed this opening. Dwarves shouldn't be traveling this far. The creatures that you killed back in the salt mines was affected by that Fey cave opening. I mean, as soon as you're on the ground, you can investigate, see if you can see anything that might have caused it.
Investigation.
So you're heading down towards the entrance. Okay. So as ship settles, disembark. Hans and Alva will stay on the ship along with Amazonia.
I can fly
They're like- all of them like, if you see something, shoot
Say
your
something.
gun. Shoot your gun.
22.
To
You
alert
see
us.
something, say something.
I jump on Belfry.
Because knowledge is power.
22.
22. As Talia leads the group down into the rubble and the rock-strewn valley floor,
Star.
you immediately pick up on what has happened here. Two very large creatures fought in this area. They look like very large dinosaur creatures fought in this area. You can see they slammed each other into the rock side, and that battle that they had caused the collapse of the rock face. And the four of you are kind of standing around as Talia's kind of pointing all this out, and then through, just like the hunters reported, through the partition of stone and rock and the rubble and debris, there's this like 100-foot wide, 10-foot tall, rusted iron door.
I'm going to try to piece together what it would have looked like when rocks were still together. Would it look like the other pottery rock?
Yeah, like looking at the other facades, they would have, it would have looked more like a canyon face of what everything else looked like.
The pottery rocks in space.
Give me a survival check.
Help action.
Okay.
Guidance.
D4.
So you roll with
You,
advantage.
you roll with advantage, and you have a D4.
They're all over there going.
16.
Yeah, I think they're the same.
There is a strange symmetry to this place. There's a very strange
All the
symmetry
all the
to
squares
this
make a square.
place.
The rocks all look similar, and they're all. There's a pattern. Something here.
So I got my survival. I notice that it's like unnatural.
Yeah, I mean, you're all equally realize that the only thing natural here was the fight that exposed it. But this valley is not a normal looking valley. There's something strange about it. It's symmetry. It's, it feels like someone has built this place for a purpose, almost.
Thought. Could at one point the ground level have been up at the bottom where the tottering rocks were, and the rocks were placed on top of everything?
Give me insight give me insight on that one.
Guidance.
Before
11.
11. Hard to tell.
14.
14. I mean, looking at the one exposed door, you begin to look between the other possible locations where maybe other doors might be. It's almost as if something was here, and then over a long period of time, an old granite landscape, like mountainscape, has eroded over time. And this is kind of like the remains of a mountainscape that you're standing amongst.
May have kept the pillar from completely degrading because of the granite on top of it.
No real evidence of that. This just feels like something that may have been buried underneath a mountain a very long time ago. And as the mountain has eroded over the past millennia, it's beginning to expose some of these things that were built underneath it.
Interesting. Sure.
Okay. Right now, you guys are standing amongst the rubble pile, looking at this 100-foot wide, 10-foot tall steel door.
Does it appear to be locked?
Maggot, can you ask Belfry?
You want to investigate the door?
Make sure that the large
Yeah.
dinosaurs
Is that
are
involve
not
touching it?
nearby.
Go and touch it. And
I'll have Bill,
Yeah, give me investigation.
I'll go up on Belfry and make sure there's no huge animals around.
All right.
Give me perception with advantage alongside Baruch. Okay.
So I get double advantage because I have the
26.
So this is a really cool rule that this Dungeon Coach 20 that just released is the name of the core rule set.
right.
They actually give you the ability to take advantage of your advantages. So every time you try with advantage, you can keep trying, and the more you try something, the harder it becomes.
Yeah.
So you can roll
Advantage,
You
then
can roll
normal, then
3
disadvantage.
d20 with disadvantage. You can roll 4 d20 with disadvantage,
Oh,
or
gotcha,
you can roll
gotcha.
3 d20 with advantage. So they built this really cool chart in there.
Reverse Belfry.
Yeah, like to give you a lot more
Did you say
functionality.
perception?
Yeah, perception with advantage because you are up on
Yeah.
Belfry.
18.
18. You see the occasional small shifting herd of raptors that would be in the area. You could see way off in the distance camp smoke from probably local hunters.
Okay.
Since it's only 1 or 2 columns. You can see a small oasis amongst the broken rubble and ruin, maybe about a mile off to your north. There's a lot of, it's kind of like that, like when they say the desert doesn't have life, but if you look at it from the sky up down,
Right.
there's a lot of life out there, but nothing threatening.
Okay. All right. I'll go back and land.
Okay.
30-20.
30-20,
26.
26. So the two of you are focusing on this door. It is a large iron door, but only in the sense of its form. You haven't found anything that
Does it go below the rock wall?
with both those rolls, it looks like it might go a little bit deeper into the rock fall. You don't see any finished edges to it. The only reason it feels like a door is because as you guys work from right to left and meet in the middle, there's a very thin crease right down the middle, and you could feel a soft air coming through that crease. It's not an airtight door, so you could feel just the bare whisper of a breeze kind of coming through that thin 10-foot tall crack of the 2 metal slabs on either side. It's heavily rusted.
So it looks like
It feels like iron too, because like as you land, and they're kind of talking as they investigate.
so. This may be the 10 feet that we're seeing might be a top of a 100-foot door.
It could,
Or it could just be a seam in the wall.
or it could just be a seam in an iron
Okay.
wall. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at one of the fallen stones, and I'm just gonna see how brittle, like how brittle they are.
Pick up a stone and slam it, or
Actually, just Eldritch Blast it.
as you blast it, the rocks come apart. You guys would notice that when he does his Eldritch Blast, he doesn't use any luminary dust.
Freak! Witch! Witch! I heard it in my bones! Burn him at the stake!
Bones!
He just infused it in his bones.
Witch! Bone infuser! No, I'm just kidding. Right.
One of the things I forgot to tell you when you were investigating your deer, there was no luminary shard remnant. It expended through its use. So while he thinks the luminary shard's still in him, he just doesn't know that it's not. It's more of a meta, out of character flavor.
So you've killed so many people and experimented on them that you'd know that.
You just pick up on the genocidal imagery quite quickly.
So I hit. So the rock just kind of.
Yeah, it like explodes. It bounces around. It feels like normal rock.
I'm gonna start going toward like one of the
That wasn't
edges
the door.
where the
So
door's
it's
at.
just
The rock, yeah. And I'm just gonna start just start trying to have
blast the door.
blast
the
rock
with
away from the edges of the door.
As you begin doing that, every now and then your Eldritch Blast kind of hits parts of the door and the rock. All of you hear a very loud echo. Like whatever's on the other side might be hollow and empty, and it gives off a very loud echo whenever he inadvertently either causes a rock to slam into it or his Eldritch Blast kind of touches the door as he's cleaning off the rock. And now you're beginning to notice a conical shape to the iron.
It's a warhead.
There's a slight conical shape. You're cleaning off some of the edge of the rock. It flares out at the top and in at the bottom.
It's a mushroom head.
The,
Why did I know you were going there?
So it's
I knew.
I like how
he
you. I
said
like
that.
how you did it fully adult when you said it that way. Dear, how did I know you were going to do that?
so it
I was going to go there. That's why I knew
kinda
you were
like
going to go there.
this, right?
You
Like-
beat me
Yes.
to the punch.
and I see through the ceiling.
You crawl up, or you get close up to the ceiling. Put your eye to it. The soft air coming through, kind of like from bottom to top. You don't see anything on the other side. It's too tight, too hard to see.
as he's doing that, he goes dust right in his eye.
I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna look at
Be the first
try and
guy.
look through the seam too and try and cast light on the other side.
Gotta look through. Your spell finds space. That's when you realize that the door's not that thick.
Mm-hmm.
If it is a door, it's not that thick.
Mhm.
And then about, what's the max range of that? 30 or 60 feet? It's almost like a flare.
20.
20 feet.
It's
But-
a 20-foot cone.
Yeah, like as you, like that, very thinly gets through the door and then spreads out suddenly. And you can see what looks like to be the remains of laboratory equipment. You can see barely, with your passive perception, you can barely see things hanging. You see metal objects. You can see things turned over. There's a lot of, like when the flare of the light hits the inside with the blow of the soft whisper of air, there's a lot of particles of dust kind of floating around inside. There's a very large empty space in there with what looks like a lot of equipment and hanging things. It's hard to tell without getting better access to it.
No movement.
Not that you saw.
Motion track.
What we don't know is that there's like a Roomba on it.
With a brain in a jar. The Roomba with a brain in a
I
jar.
don't think I can.
What's your passive perception, Maggot? Yours is pretty high, right?
Yeah.
28?
18.
18? What's your passive, Brew?
14.
think it's one of the. It's the halflings in a trench coat. I think one of them has a real high capacity. 18 is high enough that you can see Belfry perched up on a rock outcropping, kind of keeping an eye on things all around. And that's when you kind of notice up near the outcrop of rock that Belfry is, there's a whisper of breeze coming out of a gap of the rock. But it's more formed, more prominent, and it's coming out of a larger gap, almost like it's coming out of a vent.
Alva has a 19.
I'll have Belfry come
that?
down and pick me
Alva
up.
has a 19.
Yeah, it is Alba.
I'll have Belfry pick me up and take me over there.
Swings down, brings you up, like kind of just sits there hovering. And you can see this 2-foot diameter hole. There's a round metal something in there. What looks to be like these thin wires or bars, iron bars across it, almost like a grate.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see collapsed rubble has fallen away from it, and there's air kind of like buffeting into your face.
Hey, we're in up here. Bring some rope.
Here's the. I'll follow.
Okay. Yep. You follow up there. There's Maggot. He's crawled into the great entrance, grated entrance. As you go over to the grate, it's rusted all the way through. It looks in tough shape. You just kind of, and it just pops right off. Like it doesn't, like to investigate it would cause it to open.
Okay.
Because it's in such rough shape.
Okay.
And you could see the inside of a metal flue space. It looks like it just kind of goes into the dark.
Right.
Talia, you see it now too because you've flown up
I
there.
pick up Baruch. I don't know.
Okay.
I pick up Takit and then I go through that.
Well, that's like using a screwdriver to open up a soda can.
Yeah.
They'll
shotgun.
open it, but it's going to be a mess.
Shotgun to open up a soda. Anyway, I'll get, I'll just tie a rope on my waist and then I'll hand it to them and I go, don't let me go. I'm going to, lower me down in there.
Belfry, hold on to your dad tight.
Don't trust her.
Tim.
Don't trust him. Yeah. Yeah, him.
As you look through the brown beaver.
You're like, you're still my Belfry, right?
And I'll go down there and see where that goes, where that leads to.
I'll grab another rock and I'll.
I just don't want to hit a fan.
I'll grab another rock and cast. Wait, you can see in the dark.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Mhm.
Me, on the other hand.
Or did you have dark vision before?
I don't think I did.
I don't have dark vision.
He's just a pink stick of meat.
Okay.
So you're leading the way?
I'm holding the rope. As
She's
he
holding the
goes
rope.
and investigates.
And I'll
Is
investigate.
it tied around you?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's tied around your waist.
Mhm.
You could hear, he really needs to cut his nails. He hasn't done that for a while. So you can hear the beginnings of the clattering.
Right now.
Give me a stealth check.
I'm like a dog
Are you,
when you have
being,
too long.
are you being stealthy at all?
Yes,
or-
of course.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Stealth check.
They go back, so
Oh, that's so gross.
It would be 24.
Or like a happening. Just
As you transition from the rock surface into the flue space,
Mhm.
it is a metal flue. It feels like it's designed to carry air out and in.
Okay.
There's a strange kind of musty and rusted smell when you enter the flue space. You crawl in about 10 feet, and then you hit a junction where it goes right with a slight rounded curve to it,
Mhm.
and it goes left with a slight curve to it. There, as you get to that crossroads section, that bypass, you look, and now that you're deeper into the darkness of the flue space, there is a very fine blue powder on your fingers. Kind of like hold it up, and it looks like a fine kind of luminary shard dust,
Mhm.
but it's also mixed with ash,
Oh, okay.
almost like it was burnt. Maybe hard to tell for sure.
Okay.
So you can either go right or you can go left. How much is it? 50 feet of rope?
Mm-hmm.
So you have 40 feet left because you're already 10
I'll go
feet
left.
in. Go left.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of silently turn to the left, and you go 5 feet.
Because I feel like the door was right here and this is up here. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna go that
So
way.
you're going left,
Yeah.
and about 30 feet into the flue space, you know you've only got 10 feet of rope left.
Yeah.
And you can see it taut, like all the way back, leading back.
Now,
to
has this
there.
been on an angle the whole time, or has it just come down and it's
Yeah,
straight?
you came in,
Okay.
and it's been a straight
Straight thing, so
crawl. It started off straight to the right, and it's been a straight crawl to the left. Just a slight curve to it, like
Okay.
a rounded kind of finish to the flue space.
Now, is it because I can fit in here because I'm a goblin, or is it going to be cramped for everybody else?
2 by 2.
It's a 2-foot radius diameter.
Oh, okay.
So everyone will probably it'll be cramped for everyone else. You pass through.
Well, let me find a
Super
way out
easy.
then. I'll find a way out, and
Okay.
then
So you're now 40 feet away, 10 feet in, 30 feet to the left.
yeah.
And
you
You get the feeling that you're kind of over the door space. But then you see another grate.
Okay.
And it's a section of the metal flue has a grate against the right side, the bottom, and the top. And then the flue keeps going on in a curve beyond your.
I'll go bottom.
Okay, so as
Of
you
course you would.
Mhm.
as you approach the grate, you stop. You look down. You can now see directly down into the space that Talia was describing. The only light is
It's like the crack of the
it's
door.
nighttime though. But I would say that with the fade of the light, there's no. It took you 6 hours to
Yeah.
get there.
Okay.
So you arrived just at nightfall. So you would have caught the last glimpses of the setting
I got
sun.
infravision anyway, so I can see
That's true. You have
night vision.
Yeah,
I can see,
or dark vision.
Dark vision.
As you close your eyes and concentrate and then reopen your eyes, since all the light is gone, you can see the outline of what looks to be a very large chamber. You can see the silhouette of skeletal figures hanging from chains all across the top of this chamber. The chamber feels larger than your vision. So what you could see is only what you could see. It
Yeah,
feels like there
right.
might be
It goes
more
out.
beyond there.
Yeah.
But it's definitely rounded.
Mhm.
You can see what looks to be like a lot of alchemy
How
equipment.
far down to the ground?
Only about 15 feet, 20 feet down.
Okay. I'm gonna try that grate to see if I can get that up.
Give me a strength check.
I'll
for
do
that
my
one.
lock picks or whatever, or
Oh,
pry bar.
well, give me investigation then as you
Okay.
investigate the grate.
Okay. Investigation.
I send guidance through the rope.
Nice try.
28.
28. There are a series of turn latches that you just kind of unhinge.
It's like kind of like a maintenance tunnel, or like
Almost,
an air tunnel,
yeah.
and you can get in there
Yeah,
and
you
out
just
if you need to.
this
Okay.
2-foot
Ventilation.
grate just
Yeah.
pops right up and you slide it off to the side. And you're now looking down into the chamber.
Okay. Now I'll go back up and
Okay.
let everybody know what I found.
Okay.
How to get down. We'll bring the rope down so that people can climb down the rope if they need to.
I got extra rope.
So like,
So over the course of the next 10 minutes, it's setting up an egress, setting up the ability to get down. And it's not a very complex entry for you guys. So after about 10 or 15 minutes, you are now standing in the chamber.
I would probably send Talia up to the skyship, let Hans and Alba and Amsonia know, hey, come stay around this area. We're going in.
Okay, that's fine. They'll set up a little overwatch with Belfry out in the valley entrance at this point. As you guys stand in the middle of the chamber, Taki blossoms up this light spell that fills the chamber. Up above you,
Green color.
up above you, hundreds of skeletal figures connected to chains, maybe variations of 10, 15, 20 feet above you. You see the chains all come down to these levers. There's dozens and dozens of levers along the edge of the circular.
how big are the skeletons?
From this, give me a medicine check. See if you recognize anything about them. 12. Hard to
Yeah,
tell if they're humanoid or not.
Am I getting any
Or
deja vu
You can't tell
feeling?
Goblinoid, humanoid, you can't tell
Is there-
what they are. They're too high up in the
Okay,
air.
you know
The
what?
Office, does it say Tikit on the door? Just kidding. Okay.
Yeah, actually, so I'm like, oh, this I can't see. I go over to work, like I try to trace one. I'm like, click.
Give me a strength check as you pull one of the
So I was
levers.
gonna go inspect the levers as well. Hold on.
Do it. You can give me investigation on the levers. He's pulling one.
It's a change
What'd you
your-
pull?
change
Or
your
what'd you
action.
roll? Yeah, you like doesn't budge.
Actually, wait, I have inspiration. I'm gonna use
The lever goes up.
You come over and give it a shot.
I ain't touching nothing in here.
Can't-
Don't let this
I
dog
can't
go
reach
down
those
to kill
fucking
us.
levers. 27. You see that there's a chain connected to each of the levers, and they all funnel up into the space above you. And then as you focus on that, look at the skeletal creatures. In the very center of the chamber is a 20-foot diameter well, like an opening, that's currently closed with metal plates over it. And looking at it would appear that when you pull the lever, a chain reaction of things would take place. Something would lower from above, and that center would then open.
It's for dipping them into acid or something, probably.
No.
Fine. Fuck it. Fly up to one of the bodies.
Okay. You fly up to the skeletons. You're now amongst them.
Welcome back, brother.
From your perspective, give me a medicine check.
There's a chain with your name on it. It's empty.
So dark.
What's their writing?
There's symbols, but they're neither a language or an arcanic writing. They seem to be operational signals.
21.
Signals. Or
Sigils?
symbols. Sorry.
Sigil.
No, symbols.
Okay.
Not sigils, but like operating symbols.
Okay. Like in your car? To turn the
Yeah,
AC on?
like one is a series of like wavy lines,
Okay,
another one is
great.
like series of slash
Okay.
lines. You know,
One
they
is
all
the
seem to have their
steering
own
wheel, the little-
interpretation. What'd you get?
21.
They are neither goblinoid, based on the limited information you know about the pink goblin. They are neither what you now know to be humanoid. They're neither one of those. You've never seen these structural. They're tall, on average between 5.5, 6 feet tall. They have strange, oversized heads. They have squat bodies, long arms, long legs with strange scrunched torso bones. You've never seen anything like them before.
I really want to keep one of these guys.
That's company languages.
It's not a language.
Keep one of these guys. Can I see
Keep it
how?
going anyways.
Yeah, you just kind of keep searching. You're give me investigations. You're looking now for more. You're trying to find writing at this point.
Can I animate monkey?
How are they attached to the chains? Hooked
Um,
in there, or they?
You can see metal brackets fused to their spinal cord, like their backbones, and you see that the infusement of metal to bone seems to be the purpose of what's holding them up.
What, like the Matrix type? You know, like
Technically, you can.
Yes.
Are you touching them?
Not yet.
Okay.
When I think about
You, I touch myself.
Better than the kazoos.
Just
24.
had to say it.
Kazoos.
I've been
Eventually,
I've been rolling without advantage for hunting sessions.
I know, right? Hold on a sec. So eventually, as you're searching the lab, you now see on the ground, because you have your comprehend languages, where tables have been turned over and kind of collapsed, or they almost look like maybe they've been affected by an earthquake almost. you find about a dozen plaques, and one says Simeon test 1, Simeon test 2, Simeon test 3, Simeon test 4, and there's 12 of those in a circle around the well in the very center of the chamber.
How many dead bodies are there?
Hard to tell. It's hard to tell. There's hundreds of skeletons up in the field. Hundreds of levers circumventing the rounded chamber.
How rusted is the chain?
It's pretty. It's got some rust. It's not nearly as exposed as the door was, so it shows some sign of age and wear. It's not nearly as rusted as the door.
I'm not going to touch the skeleton just yet. I'm going to grab the chain about 1.5 feet above where it's connected to its thing, and then I'm going to just right above it, Eldritch Blast at the chain.
Roll damage.
Do I know what Simeon?
It's not a word you've ever heard of before.
These plaques say Simeon test 1 through 12.
And they're in a perfect circle around the 20-foot well that's got a metal covering
So
over it.
the
And we can't
pit
see in the well?
The center it's closed.
Mm-hmm. It's
Gap
got.
or anything?
Looks like they're shuttered, like metal doors that are either iris open or shutter open and closed.
Any gaps? Right.
Give me perception as you glance at the door.
Knock on it.
You knock on it? Okay.
Not while he's looking at
So I'm going to try the 1 bolt 13.
Okay. The bolt and the chain shatter. Are you holding on to the
right
chain?
next to me,
Okay, give me a strength check for that.
20, not natural.
Okay.
Wait, no. Don't fuck me, Gil.
Oh, fuck me, Gil.
13.
13. It doesn't let you stay up while you're holding it. The weight of it
God.
slowly is pulling you to the ground.
Yeah, I would just
Okay.
let it go. Coming down.
And you settle on the ground with this heavy 6.5 foot tall, strange looking skeleton. But the two of you are on the ground.
I want to look at that.
I'll let you guys know. Coming down, like you
Yeah.
hear, and then you see the little
Okay.
green bluish.
And
blast.
what were you rolling for? Oh, the doors. Yeah, the sealed well.
What is the
me see.
Um,
Expertise, maybe?
So let's.
Yeah, proficiency. Yeah, because for me, when it's got you have that slight little circle around that blue. For me, that's where I have expertise for a
Right.
skill.
What does that mean?
That
Well,
just means
technically
you-
that means you have advantage, but I've changed the rules so that all proficient skills have advantage
Okay.
but
to give
it's
you
just- typically-
more.
It's advantage, not 3.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and typically what expertise does is it doubles your proficiency bonus for that skill.
Correct.
Add your proficiency bonus twice.
Yes.
Correct. And it should already do that for you. Okay. As you stare at the door, they are sealed, like very tightly sealed. As you watch Baruch lower the skeleton to the ground, as it hits the ground, a very fine blue dust billows off of the skeleton.
Back my hand into the
Is it
room. Does it feel warm or anything?
No, it feels cold.
Oh god.
older than it's supposed to be?
I know.
Or
No,
mouthful.
just like that cold, just feeling of
Bone
a
dust.
cold metal, underground metal.
I'm covered in that dust now, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
I think we all are.
Well, I said I was coming down. I don't know if you came to me yet.
Oh yeah, I'm coming toward. I'm like, I want to look at the skeleton. I like skeletons.
You can
I
give
knew
me
you-
medicine or investigation as you examine the skeleton.
Help, actually.
Make it. You're gonna animate
And
one.
guidance.
Okay. Maggot starts
No, I'm
snorting.
just kidding.
He's like, I want to sell too. Just like it's in you.
Yeah. All right.
9.
I feel
Wait,
power.
Okay.
It was investigation. My
Okay.
medicine.
As you're examining the skeleton, the chest cavity is larger than the shoulder width. Whatever this creature is, it had a large chest with large lungs, large internal organs. It has a strange curve in its back, so definitely probably walked with an arch over and frontways.
Look like a gorilla.
Well, you wouldn't know what one is.
I know, but does
But
it look like a gorilla?
from your perspective in real life, it would have the shape of a gorilla skeleton.
Okay.
Although
But it's
the
strangely upright.
and its cranial is shockingly sized to have a good sized brain.
So bigger
In
brain
it?
These are
cavity.
cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But
The
still
one thing that
strong.
definitely catches your interest is that the surface of the skeletal structure is covered in a fine powder of luminary shard.
Yeah.
Still with the ash.
Mixed with luminary shard and ash,
Yeah.
almost like a powder coating of some
Okay.
sort.
Okay.
I'm gonna try an Arcana check on the dust.
You don't really need to make a check for that. It is definitely luminary shard dust, but
I meant like how compared to the shit that I put in my bones. Normal.
it's not refined at all. It's naturally occurring. Almost like somebody just took luminary rock, like raw rock, and pulverized it into a powder. And that might be why you're seeing a white powder and the blue powder. The white powder might be pulverized rock. And the two combined is create almost like a talcum or a coating on all of these. And that's when you look up and
Oh my god, we're on a gold mine.
if you use light source of any kind, you would see
Well,
these.
I have to use light.
Yeah.
I can't see in the dark.
Yes, you would see opaque, kind of just big, soft clouds of this powdery dust everywhere. But the one thing you don't notice while you guys are standing here is no sense of the breeze. Like you remember the breeze coming out of the crack, but while you're standing in the main chamber,
We're
there's
not
no
seeing it.
sense. The air here is very still.
And we didn't see any luminary dust coming out of the door either.
I'm gonna
No.
climb back up
Okay.
and continue going.
You're gonna go the
I'm
opposite
gonna
way?
stand there and see if I can feel the breeze, which way it's coming from.
Give me a survival check as you do that.
Oh, before you go, by the way,
Hmm.
product inspiration.
Part inspiration, a D4, right?
D8, I think.
A D8.
Yes,
D8.
Oh, so
For
much
now.
dice. Where am I rolling?
Survival.
This is insane.
Wow.
37.
37. How high is your wisdom?
Well, no, it's that I took that as one of my.
Oh,
Hey,
face with
my-
proficiency.
Yeah, well, my wisdom is 18 because I'm a
You're
ranger.
a smart goblin.
I'm a ranger.
I know you're a smart
Yeah.
goblin.
There's a wise,
A
no,
wise-
there's a wise guy.
Wise goblin.
I'm the 1% of the 1%.
of
I don't
goblin.
know if I-
He's a long-lived goblin for certain reasons.
All right.
So as you're climbing back up into the vent, you start arcing your way around. Now you're not constrained by the rope, so you begin to walk. The question is, do you continue this in a stealthy manner?
Yeah, I don't trust nobody.
Okay, give you another stealth check because it will slow your pace.
I stick my hand out so you can slap it for more inspiration. I'm just kidding.
As he runs up to
I don't think he really needs it.
slap him on the ass.
I mean, even if you rolled a natural
A
one,
23
what's your bonus? What's your modifier?
plus 13.
Yeah, even if you rolled a
Yeah.
1, it's a 14.
I mean, that's
I
like
mean-
me with my with either my persuasion or performance.
You feel it coming from the original direction you were going. It's getting a little bit stronger. You walk another 60 feet as it arcs around, and that's when you realize you're coming up to another intersection. And at this intersection, it's a lot stronger from this new intersection. There's a new pipe that goes off to the left. But you're at another grate area, and you can see everyone down below. So it feels like you're in a chamber that has this thing that goes all the way around it. and you feel like you're at the ventilation access now, where all the air would be coming from. And it feels stronger here.
I'll turn down that way.
Okay.
Toward the straw.
You're now feeling the strength of the breeze now. It's like it's there, and you're walking into it. As you walk into it, you get to a large grate that covers the full 2-foot diameter of the space. Once again, you already know how to open these, so you're able to twist the little turny pinions.
Turns like this.
Yeah,
so
and
I
it
can
just
go
kind of
halfway through.
And this feels like it's purposely designed for
And it's still 2 feet. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still
and you
like a tunnel rat in Vietnam.
you
Got my
crawl
bathroom
through and you're in another
Hand
chamber. The flue space continues, but now you're in the chamber that's producing air. And you look down in this chamber, and there's this huge metal fan-like blade that is turning. And you could see these strange rusted sentinel clockwork creatures. And they seem to be holding onto a metal bar that's like a fulcrum to the fan blade.
Mhm.
And they're pushing it to keep this fan blade moving. And you could see the glow of luminary shard rock within their sentinel chambers
Mhm.
that are obviously keeping them powered. But you could hear the rust of their knees, the creak of their arms. Their metal plates look rusted and old. And they're like,
Give us some oil.
they're square, boxy looking things, very unsophisticated, just
Okay.
very simple sentinel like automatons that are, there's about a dozen of them, and they're just
Now, does that
pushing,
fan take up the entire room?
takes up the entire space.
Okay.
And then you can see that the flue continues.
I'll continue.
As you continue into the next one, like the very first chamber, you find one just like that, exactly like it, but there's other skeletons that look very different. And you can see that the flue chamber continues.
I'm
And you
just
keep
gonna
going. So, like, while they're all experimenting and investigating and trying to figure out the other room,
I'm just getting a general.
you
gist
spend the next hour and you feel yourself circumvent the entire valley section
until I come back to them.
until you come back to them, except for
Okay.
one exception. The only difference is that while it looked exactly like the first room, the only difference is the first room had that well in the middle. None of the other rooms had that.
Okay.
But they were all experimentation rooms. They had writing that you didn't recognize,
And all the beams
They
are
had-
different.
but all the skeletal structures were different.
Okay.
They look humanoid, like pink goblinoid.
Did it go from like monkey to like chimp to like kind of like Bigfoot looking monkey?
Did it go from like monkey
No,
to
like,
dragon-ish?
I would say,
And then a whole
Um,
room full of him.
I would say, give me a nature check
Okay.
to see which ones you recognized and which ones you didn't recognize.
While he was off, Keith asked me to get another a second room.
To go up there and do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
How
Okay.
many other chambers?
There are 11 other chambers.
25.
You're the first, and there are 11 more, so there are a
Do you
dozen
want
chambers total.
another one of these?
25.
25.
Fine, you're coming and helping me.
Chamber number 5
I mean, do we need more than
reminded
one?
you of reptilian
That's
creatures,
that weird smirk
I-
you're
like
giving.
dinosaurs,
Right.
the raptors
Okay.
that you'd see out in the
I
mine.
can have
Right.
2 for 1.
And then chamber number
Do we
9
really need 4?
reminded you of her. Avian kind of structures, wings that had bone, remnants of wings.
Yeah.
So they look like Aarakocras.
Mhm.
But all the other ones you didn't recognize at all. No similarities. No similarity to each other or the first room. They're all distinct. They're all
Like none of
unique.
them look like goblins or none orcs or hobgoblins.
Correct.
or
None of them
anything
look like goblinoid.
that live here,
None of them
except for-
look like that look like the lineages that live on Calisha.
What? Let me see what my history thing is here. Probably
So you've gone back up, retrieved another one.
Yeah.
Because you know how you did it before, it's actually easier and safer for you to do a second one. You bring down another one that's
Oh,
not
it's
quite
got
as
reptile
tall,
tiles in it.
but a little
Nine
bit
has
bulkier
reptilians.
in size. It would be the equivalent of like an
5
orangutan.
has
kind of
reptile,
size.
reptilian.
And you bring, now you have 2 skeletons down on the ground.
And 9 has 80.
I leave them those 2, and then I'm like, well, I'm bored. I go look at the other, just inspect the other one, see what's like, trying to find the biggest one that's hanging there.
Now I'm touching.
Up in the skeletons?
Yeah.
Okay. And the room that you're in?
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause-
So you've laid out 2 skeletons for them. This is while you're gone.
Yeah.
Because you're exploring all the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
chambers. So you 2 are examining the 2 skeletons, and you've gone up to look for something that's very distinct or maybe unique, more unique than the skeletons themselves.
Yeah.
Give me investigation then while you're doing that. You're touching the bones.
Yeah, I was going to prepare that.
Oh, that's right. You're gonna ritually animate one of the sets of bones, or 2 of them. Okay. You notice that the bones are unusually light. Which doesn't make a lot of sense. They should be petrified, calcified, or whatever from being in storage. The moisture would have mineralized them, and maybe that was the purpose of the powder coating, was to prevent that from
Powder
happening.
coating.
But they're light. They feel hollow.
Oh, I'll share that.
Okay. Bones aren't hollow.
You got to put
Well, the marrow.
shard dust in them.
The marrow wouldn't like evaporate or
Decay.
decay.
They just don't. They feel unusually light. You've held real bones before, you know.
Yeah.
But like these bones
like
that are
you.
that old.
He's shaking it.
They're
Shake
just
weight.
really light. Like they
As he
feel.
shake 2 bones,
Shake weight.
as
At
he
the
shook
same
2
time?
bones like this. Is he a bone shaker?
I hate you so much.
What do you want on my investigation?
You guys, somebody needs to rate us. We need help.
Ah,
I'm just kidding. All right.
That was all you.
No, I started.
yeah, that one was not
Yeah.
me.
I
No,
started.
you started.
Yeah.
She
My
jumped
brother,
on it. I
my
jumped
brother
on it.
types in. This is why we can't have nice things.
That's right.
Who wants nice things? I want fun things.
It's great. Can't do
Hey,
anything.
I'm
It's
nice.
great.
No, you're fun.
That's what we have. Jason's on. That's why we only have 5 people watching us every week. Like the diehard fans, like, I gotta be on this week. Like,
I know.
there's 5 guys somewhere in
Bo Fang was a menagerie of creatures from other worlds.
Mhm.
These all. Who can forget the shake weight?
That's right.
So, in the very tippy top center of all the skeletons, there is a 15-foot tall skeleton. It looks like the others, only it's huge. Like it's large compared to the others. But it looks to be the same form, same type, same expectation.
How would we get that out of here?
Talia!
He's gonna animate that one. Is
How
how
would
he's
we
gonna
get
get it
that
out.
out?
Me!
Yeah, you just in case, you take a rib, and that's when it doesn't crack. It bends as it's metal.
What? It looks like bone.
It's not. It's metal.
Give me a nature check as you bend it.
It's powder coated. Hot rod red.
Stop. Talia!
Yeah.
Touch the thing's forehead. Found something!
Nothing happens.
Touch them.
Great. It's Westworld.
It's big!
Okay.
We're actually all robots.
It's
in
like
a
a
Westworld
copper.
situation.
It's like a very thin plated copper. That's
Is
been
it over the bone or is it?
there's
It
no
is-
bone material as far as
It
you can
is
tell.
metal.
I don't think we can animate that if it's copper.
No, unless it's been transfigured.
Dun dun dun.
I don't think we can
I'll try
animate.
anyways.
Okay, because it's a ritual.
You watch as all of the luminary dust responds to your magical evocation of animate dead. It flares, cooks off, and then you're looking at a copper framework of a skeletal structure. But your use of the magic is expended, causes all the luminary dust to burn off. It's just a copper
It doesn't
framework left
animate.
over. Doesn't animate it.
Interesting.
So now it doesn't look like bone; it looks like copper.
They look like. It looks like no. They look like. They are in the shape of bone, but
Right.
made from copper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because before, okay,
It
so they're not
looked
white.
bone.
They are
Does it
no
count?
longer white now because he just cast something on it,
Then you've
which
got the
burnt
black.
off all the luminary dust
Okay,
and got rid of whatever they coated it with.
right.
Does that include the one that I'm right in front of?
No,
Okay.
just the one he
Just
touched.
just
The one he
you were-
touched. Because that spells actually the two you touched. Because it's a target of your choice.
Yeah.
And you pick two. So you have two skeletal structures, skeletal creatures,
Copper
but
skeletons.
yeah,
Well,
two
how
copper
much does Copper
skeletons.
copper work? We could just take back the bodies from us.
What's in it?
It's such a Tomb Raider.
What's in
I'm
it?
like,
Such a Tomb Raider.
I'm like,
How much are these worth?
God, they're taking forever. I just start I'm like,
She bites the bone.
just start knocking on the 15-foot scope.
It starts swinging.
You start-
Does it make any sound when I like?
I'm gonna start
It
looking
just
around for
powder is
people.
puffing.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I want to.
Well, we have Maggot's not back yet.
Alright.
Is Maggot back yet?
Not yet. He's been gone for a while, but
Yeah.
it's not back yet.
Can I ask you a question? Since so there's only one well.
Mm-hmm.
Do I notice?
Their doors.
Can this thing move?
Give me an insight check on your way back.
Okay.
Disneyland?
God, I Disney
Got something
World
good.
now.
It was Disneyland.
Perception,
Insight.
insight.
Did you hear about the? Did you hear about the
Insight.
person that died in that?
That's not.
Yeah.
24.
Carousel of Progress.
I mean, it wouldn't be too unreasonable to think that's possible the way it's designed, the way it's
Because
configured.
it's all it's pretty much like I've been going around the same kind of curve.
Yeah.
It hasn't deviated. The curve
No.
hasn't deviated, so it's a
No.
complete perfect circle.
Yeah, it could maybe at some point have done that. You're not sure how it would have be able to do that, but
All the rooms look exactly. Well, I can't tell you, but yeah, it's like all the rooms look exactly the same around this thing, except there's only one well.
Are they smaller in the middle? And
no,
No.
they're all the same.
They're all exactly the same.
but they big revolve?
Mm-hmm.
But there's only one well?
Yeah, there's
The one that you're in, the current chamber.
Well,
that
you
you're
don't
in.
know until you back, but
Yeah, you
Okay.
won't know that part till he gets back.
I start looking for
Hey, Tweety Bird and Tweedle Dumbass! I found a big one.
Yeah, we can't animate them, so it's useless.
Why not?
They're not really bone.
the copper. Coated
It'd be
with
gold.
some mixture of ash and
Yeah,
luminary
you pull
dust.
with a dagger.
Yeah, just
Pull out a dagger. You as you scrape it, it curls. The powder coating curls, and there's a nice 6-inch striation of copper underneath the powder.
Too heavy to carry out a lot of it. But we can come back.
I want to do it so fucking bad.
Come on.
You can heat metal if you want.
Why
Not
waste
yet.
the spells?
Yeah,
Not on the
don't
big
waste
one.
it just yet.
Just in case we-
You guys hear a noise as Maggot returns, coming out of the upper vent.
okay,
Maggot.
I describe everything that he described to me,
Okay.
and I tell you
Wait, what did he say?
about. So
There's multiple
So
rooms.
far,
There's
the only
12
troublemaker here
chambers.
tonight is that one right
there's a
there.
total, including this one, there's 12 chambers. Number 5 had reptilian-looking creatures,
Like dinosaurs?
Yeah,
That's
like
the closest
lizards
approximation
or-
that he could figure out.
and then
Like humanoid dinosaurs?
and number 9 had like
No.
skeletons like yours. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
Eric
sure if we
Cochran.
peeled you.
Although we wouldn't know it, Dragonborn.
No, they
No, because we
definitely.
have Dragonborn here.
You do have the occasional dragonborn
Okay.
that does arrive on Calisha.
Was there any crabs?
What is the overall shape?
Yes, there were crabs. There were crabs.
It's a
One
rounded
of them
chamber.
was hundreds and hundreds of
It's like
crabs.
we
Yes.
it.
They don't
Yeah,
have
a
bones.
little bit.
Are there doors on either
Okay, there's
side?
shells.
There are
made from
not.
copper.
Not that you can see.
I fly back down. I hear you.
Um,
Hey, Chiquita, I have a I have an idea. Might actually really help us.
Is there anything different about this
Use
chamber?
detect magic.
Just the well.
Don't use detect magic. The luminary dust will blind you.
Was there okay, when I was going around the whole area,
It will blind you.
were there any spokes that went in?
Not specifically, no.
No? Okay.
No.
First, I'm looking for a way to open.
So I'm gonna go over to the well.
Okay.
Now that we're all
So the
here.
two of you are at the well.
Now you told me when I went into the one, there was one that goes up
It's
too, right?
much denser than that initial door you knocked.
You told me that
Secret
when
in
I
the
was
front
in
door.
the tube
Yeah,
before I
and
made
it
my
looks
trip.
like- looks like
When I was
these
coming down, you said
skeletons would be
there was
hidden
one
in
vent that
vents.
was going up to.
Correct. There was a
So
vent that looked like it went up to another
would be
interchange of
how
vents
they-
that would have kept going.
I want to go up there and
Okay.
check it out.
I don't know if
So you
that's
go
how
back up in the
they
vents
them
and you
or
start
how they animate them
exploring the
or
rest
how
of
And
they
I'll
do
take
it.
a rope. I'll take my rope with me in case I
Okay.
need it.
curl that on, bind it, and you're now
It's gotta
checking the
be
upper
how they
vents.
powder coated them because there's no
I'm gonna-
bone in the center of it.
So when you
otherwise they
watch
wouldn't
when you
bend.
watch Talia like rap on the well covered doors, there's no hollow echo sound. It's like it's a very solid thunk, like where when you hit the doors or you hit the metal on the outside, it would
It's
boom,
just a solid
boom, like more of an echo.
I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like
Independently.
there's
I have
mechanisms
a
for moving the skeletons above the
Make
well
army.
and dipping from the dust in the well.
Maybe.
mending.
I mean, the lever's definitely raised and lowered, but as you look at the way they lower, it looked like they would be lowered onto the tables that were once designed around this space. But over the years or centuries or however old this place is, it's gradual erosion, earthquakes, tremors. It feels like when those dozen tables used to be set up and positioned, that's what they were lowering down the skeletons onto those workbenches, onto those laboratory tables.
those plaques, those things where it was Simeon experiment 1, 2, 3, 10,
Yeah.
12. Was there any other writing that we recognized?
That's the only visible writing that Takit noticed while he had his comprehend language up.
For the spell legend lore, do I have to know the name of the thing, or can I be looking at the
What does it say?
name or describe a person, place, or object? Spell brings to
You
your
can-
mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing.
No, you don't necessarily have to know anything about it at all.
No,
You just
can-
cast a spell while you're holding on to it,
like, the
and
spell
either a
itself.
person, place, or object would reveal some kind of lore to you.
There you go.
You can put your hand on the floor and be like,
I cast that shit on this fucking place.
So you watch as you're gone up,
Yeah.
experimenting and exploring the other vents.
Mhm.
Keith's brain's gonna explode.
You two are by the well. Are you by the well, or where are
oh
you?
no, before I left.
Are you
I-
still up there
no,
with
no,
the
I
big?
came down, but before I did, I cut off that little curled up piece of luminary.
Well, yeah, it's only 6 inches long by about 1/10 of a centimeter wide. It's just like a peel of paint.
Yeah,
that
so
you
I'm, like, I'm
curled
gonna
off
take
it.
that and I'm gonna land. I'm gonna like try to gather up some more of the surrounding stuff. It's just,
Okay.
I'm gonna cast mending to see if I can form it into like a solid.
Okay. So while you're doing that, you hear him invoke a spell, and you watch as
Guidance.
there's a flare. What are you touching when you do this, though? What are you focusing on? What object are you focused on?
Probably the well.
So you place your hands on the well, and you feel the spell activate. You are in a very active chamber. There are a dozen. There are a dozen tables. There are these strange, 2-foot tall looking creatures, big opaque eyes, green and gray skin,
Fucking Jerry.
Fucking Jerry.
and they seem to have these framework skeletons on these tables, and they're working with strange kind of organic matter, and they're like creating creatures. They're building creatures. But then, since you're focusing on the well's open, and there's a strange kind of energy or heat emanating up through the well. The lore allows you to look down, and looking down in the well, you can see 5 seats. You can see these strange little green creatures sitting in these seats. The floor that they're sitting on, and they seem to be manipulating controls on mechanical things that they're touching. But the floor that they're sitting on or standing on, depending on your perspective, is transparent. And it is this unending starscape that is swiftly moving by underneath their feet. And just as the lore drops, it feels like a steady tremor or rumble is constantly in the background. And then you come out of the effect of the spell.
Hello, I'm Jerry. Nice to meet you.
Freaking Jerry.
Why'd you wake me up? It's me. I'll sleep for another 15,000 years.
You tell Talia what you saw?
I kind of numbly recount what I saw.
Okay.
Kind of like stunned.
Give me a deck save when you do that.
Little gray men.
Gray and green.
Little gray and green men.
Grays
Well,
and beans.
With big
Beings, creatures. Big, opaque eyes. They didn't seem to be wearing clothing. They were working on
bug-eyed monsters.
the creatures on the table.
They were
They
flat
seem
down
to be
there with
piloting
candle.
something.
Fucking UFO.
21.
Fucking UFO.
21? You guys hear a huge flash sound. Well, you don't, but you two. You hear a and just over where Baruch was casting mending, it ignites all the luminary dust that's enshrouding him, including what he's focusing on with the mend. And he's standing there coughing out smoke. Take half of 18 points of fire damage.
Owie.
The fuck did you do?
The hell?
His hair smoking.
Yeah. It went from here to like here.
Eyebrows. Oh.
Wait, actually, I had an eyebrow.
This is what great
I don't.
conversion.
It's fucking rock.
During your exploration, give me. Are you being quick or very, very like purposeful?
I feel like I got time, so I'm probably gonna be
Purposeful.
purposeful.
So give me investigation.
Yeah.
I want
25.
to
25.
Those are the stars. If this can travel between the stars.
Where you are up here, you finally understand the mass of this structure. It's unrevealed. There's more of its mass buried deeper because you find endless amounts of venting and piping and places to go. Some of them are dead ends as they arc down into the rock. Some of them come together as if to be the continuation of venting. This entire valley,
Is a ship.
no,
Or
Was a crash site.
no. From your perspective, after doing all this, give me an insight check. See if you can figure it out.
all right.
I'm seeing the spaceship.
Oh fuck! Natural
Okay.
20.
Nice.
Insight.
Yep.
Where's my insight?
So I wonder if this
Oh, there
was
you
the
go. So
ship
a 28.
that all the people
28?
escaped.
Yeah.
Now give me a religion check with advantage, and I've lowered the DC.
Religion. Okay. Or 19.
The skeleton
This
probably
feels
close
like
to-
the comet's origin.
A what?
The
Cosmic.
comet that struck
Oh.
this area, like that created Calisha, feels like you're standing in the origin of that story. This thing could be miles and square miles of structure. And this might be that germination or
This is
or it's here by accident,
Tikit's
or
dad's
this
ship.
is something that was traveling the astral sea, collided into that rocky maelstrom, and maybe this is where the lore of the comic comes from. But this is something beyond your scope of understanding. This feels ancient, like very ancient.
Turn up the music
What?
because it's so appropriate.
Oh.
Okay, I will go back, make my way back to let
Okay.
to the guys. Let me know when I get back.
All right. Well,
What did you do?
I was trying to see if I can condense a bunch of the dust into like a ball.
Why?
So we can take it out of here. It's luminary.
Yeah, but we have plenty.
Yes, but
This is airborne luminary. I mean, doing spells in here is dangerous. To
No
me.
shit. Yeah, you're like his hair, you know, and his curled smoke, and his like the fabric of his clothes is all kind of like singed.
Brandon gave us random off.
yeah,
Nobody,
yeah, because I probably like. Oh,
You've never been
lost
burnt
the
before.
thing.
You look like a baby mouse.
nobody ignites one of those jetpacks.
Oh, that'd be fun. You should do that.
Like, yeah. Anyway,
Hans and Alva are outside. It's a good thing.
So Maggot makes it
Okay.
back. He then tells you everything that he saw.
This place is huge.
start looking for doors.
You
Tell
can,
you what I saw.
yeah, you can give me a history check, based on your very long period of reading and writing.
After he tells me that, I want to
Want to do a
see
history check too?
If you want, sure.
how. After he tells me everything,
Well, what are you focused on? Because with him, it's easy. When you think of history, what do you think about considering all this new information that you learned? Especially after being told by Maggot that there's a
That's
chamber filled with Aarakocra skeletons. 28? Okay. She's very annoyed by your role.
I'm not very annoyed. I'm not annoyed by the game.
Now that I know
From
I
a history
have to jump
perspective,
shit,
what are you
it's
focusing
I'm
on?
using it.
I'm
Different.
focusing on like the history of Calisha, about what
Okay.
I know. You
Yeah.
know, like
Go for it.
everything.
Kalashaw's origin story.
Ooh, so 19 plus 7.
26.
How does this jive with what we saw in the fake app? too?
Well, from what you know of the birth of Calisha and its lore of its period of creation, is that a maelstrom of rock was hit by a comet that was thrown by a god. And when that shattered and collided, it formed the age of creation. During the age of creation, it is said that for many thousands of years, meteorites, comets continued to strike and begin to form this place. But then there's an empty space of knowledge. There then just became the rise of the different people that dwell within Calisha, the rise of first kingdoms, the rise of the first nations. As each of the seven kingdoms began to form, gain power, whether you're hobgoblin, orc, goblin, goblinoid in general, it does kind of jibe with the idea of the atmospheric continents, the four floating chunks of atmosphere that ride on the natural kind of existence of luminary shardstone that can be mined from the underside of the continents. Something very large would have struck and created this kind of amalgamation of this effect that you know this world to have taken place with. Are there other continents out there? There probably are, but the vastness of the oceans and the vastness of the space around Calisha or around Luna Verde, which is the primary continent, it's never really been explored beyond a certain point. There's an exception to that in your history check in a moment.
Do I know? Can I think of a central origin place for where different people started coming from, like
There was never really during the period of creation, the period of the rise of the rise of kingdoms. There's a lot of gaps. There's a lot of unknowns. You're talking about kingdoms that have been at war with each other for so long until the peace treaty about 1,000 years ago, when the 7 kingdoms were united by some strange astral traveler, which we know a little bit about that now. A lot of that lore is lost. It's lost to war. It's lost to strife. Explains why most of the people of Luna Verde, and Luna Verde making up the 7 shattered kingdoms, they're nomadic, they're isolated, they've been fighting each other for so long that even while under this unified peace treaty, that animosity never really went away. So the rise and the arrival of the different lineages and species to this land has been lost to time. The Aarakocran perspective is very different. The rise of the Aarakocran elite is a common history to all Aarakocrans. It is said that the great gods of the Aarakocran people had planted the seed of the Aarakocran souls on this lost world to help guide it through its darkness, through its burgeoning time. The Aarakocrans were here first. They settled first on the 4 different atmospheric continents. And it is said that through the power of their god, they sprung into life the first of goblinoids. And they gave the gift of intelligence to the goblinoids so that they could become engineers to the Aarakocran elite. And they've lived a very isolated existence. And they've just kind of treated the lowlanders or the flatlanders as people that require them more than they require those people. They almost treat them like, like
Peasants.
not even peasants, like other creatures that just happen to exist in a space
Lesser being.
that not even lesser beings. They don't even consider them beings. No, they just consider an anthill coexists with us. That's it. They just consider them creatures that coexist with them. They're the ones with the power, the highly intelligent goblinoids that do all the steampunk-like engineering of the luminary magic, that keep them all in power, that keep all the Aarakocran elites in power. But because they don't really interact with the creatures down below, they don't really come across that way to the creatures down below. They're just these mysterious tradespeople that have this unique wealth and this unique access to very unique magic, source of the magic of Calisha. And it's just always been this very kind of strange relationship over the course of the last 1,000 years. It's almost like somebody crashed a petri dish into a chunk of rock. And over hundreds of thousands of years, this place came into existence. But as each kingdom rose, they kind of have their own tropes and their own idea of gods and their own ideas of how their existence came into a place. But without the foundation of a period of founding that remained consistent, no one's really quite sure other than what they kind of make up from time to time, either through religious scripture, hereditary achievements, through families that have been around for a long time. Those that have wealth and power control the narrative. So it's been a very kind of interesting way this world's evolved. And right now you guys feel like you're standing within, it's almost as if you're standing within something that is old or older than your own knowledge of this place.
I'm gonna just start looking around at the turned over tables thing.
Give me an investigation check.
And also like trying to see if there's a door.
Yeah. Okay. What are the rest of you
Open
doing?
the well.
I'm trying to look for a button to open the well.
So the three of you can give me independent investigation checks, or you can give someone the help action, which would give them an advantage.
Wait a minute, who's got the
I
highest
already have
investigation?
So you have advantage
I already
already.
have it.
What? I think you have the highest,
I have
right?
advantage. What's your plus?
If you all have advantage already, then you're better off all rolling
Okay.
independently.
Good. Oh, good.
15? Okay. What you get?
Oh, nat
I have
20,
14.
22?
31.
31.
Got a nat 20.
Jesus.
I got a nat 20.
The one night that you roll
I know, dude.
off the charts, you're not trying to kill anything.
I know.
No, I got 15. Sorry.
15?
8 plus
As an overall group effort,
15.
the three of you at the door, at the sliding doors, there are a series of strange three-fingered, thumbed handprints in different kind of like patterns along the edge of the well. And they're almost childlike in size. As you examine the far-flung edges of the chamber, with that 19, you begin to realize that there are certain levers that aren't connected to chains. And at the very edge of the chambers, you see these huge like metal rollers, almost as if the room can turn, like it can pivot in place. And then you see runners running into the floor, almost as if it can then shift and turn yet again. Feels like you're in a series of revolving and turning metal tracks and rollers. This whole place feels like it can be manipulated and shifted. No, there's no puzzle to it. There's no, they all have continuity. They all have circular
There's only
striation
one
to
way.
them. They all can only go one way. Designed specifically to probably turn, maybe create a door to walk through, or to what Maggot had discovered, maybe this chamber can shift over and bring another chamber here in place.
Did I just notice any like? So
You just
one-
know some
Well,
larger levers than the other
yeah.
that seem to be away and on their own spots of control.
Yeah, but I was also looking out for and tools and like,
The only
anything
remaining
that's-
tools that you find are metal. Like you find something that probably had a wooden handle, so it's just a metal tool
Yeah, I was like,
missing the handle.
Yeah.
And they all look like fabrication implements. Like if you were a master alchemist or a master engineer up in one of the Aarakocra laboratories, these would
Hans would
be the
love
metal
this shit.
portions of the tools that you would find.
gonna fuck with one of the or the
Give me a
levers.
strength check as you go up there with both hands. You try to pull on it.
I'm pulling it down.
Mm-hmm.
I get advantage if I get all my weight.
All 20 pounds.
I'm flush now. I'm not that skinny.
He's a pink goblin.
He's picked up.
Just roll your dice.
20.
Plus.
Nothing. It's not 20.
Do you have any?
No.
Oh, you have plus 0.
I'm at 11.
So you have plus 0.
Yeah.
You reach up and you. All of you hear a loud. After he pulls that lever and it echoes throughout the chamber, you begin to hear a slight grinding noise, a very subtle at first. And that's when you notice that the chamber starts to grind on its own accord. The chamber starts to shift, but it's almost like it's jammed. And now everything is breaking loose above you.
Oh,
You watch as these skeletons
wrong lever.
start coming, and you can hear it's getting worse. Now you're seeing surface cracks.
Turn the lever back. Turn the lever back.
Give me a strength check. Up
I'm
is a
gonna
lot
help
harder
him.
than down.
Go help him.
You head over, and the two of you are now. So you have advantage. That's all that gives you.
Guidance. 18 plus 4. $19.
Doesn't go up. Yeah. You're like, and now you can feel the whole room begin to shudder. Like it's trying to turn, slamming into something. Now you're watching as the ventilation tunnels are collapsing into the space. Now you're watching as the skeletons are now swaying. And you're watching as the well covering is beginning to buckle and warp like paper. And now you're seeing surface cracks along the metal. And now you can hear like the whole room's beginning to bend under the weight of it not able to move. What are you guys doing?
Running.
Where?
Is the well open? Is the well open?
No, it's buckled. There's like a 6-inch gap to be able to see inside, but
Oh,
it's
see
buckled, and now the O-ring of the well is buckling. More skeletons. I need everyone to make dex saves, please.
What's inside the well? What's inside the well?
Are you gonna go take the time to look?
Yeah.
19.
18. What's 99?
It's 99.
Yeah.
99 is
Double
18.
check.
And I throw Blade Ward.
You can react with that, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that do for you?
Bonuses.
We'll say it'll give you advantage on your dex set. We'll do that way.
Okay, that's better.
Okay?
19.
19.
I'm
That'll
gonna
succeed.
go to the.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
I need to get everyone's dex save.
I know, bro.
19 succeeds, so take half of 12 points of bludgeoning damage from the falling debris.
19.
Succeeds, take half of 12 points of bludgeoning damage. I think you have evasion, right? Even if you fail? Or
Yeah,
are you more
I-
ranger than rogue?
No, I gotta see if I do.
Talia, what'd you get? 19. So half of 12 points of bludgeoning damage as more debris is falling. The wrinkle of the metal's getting louder. You run over to the covered well where Heat is as well, looking, trying to see if you can see anything inside. Give me perception checks. If you do investigation, it'll take longer and expose you to falling debris.
19.
19. Heat.
Nine.
9. You can't quite see anything. You look in and you can see rubble piled up inside. You can see fractured metal. You can see upturned metal chairs. You can see exposed gearwork and like weird crystalline shards of plate glass kind of all torn up down below. There is maybe an empty space down there. Like there's a void underneath all that debris. Like maybe it carries on deeper beyond what you can see. The folded
vents-
metal is lifted up about a foot.
The vents that we came through,
Are all collapsing in around you.
so there's no way we can go back up that.
Certainly try, but from what you're seeing, they're definitely collapsing. They'd probably be more dangerous.
Right.
So while you two are doing that, what are you doing?
I am gonna go run over to the lever that he used.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can use my lock picking skills to maybe get into the mechanism.
Give me sleight of hand since you already know what it does.
Okay.
You have guidance. What are you doing while he's doing that? They're
I'm
examining
going to get ready
the well
to,
shutter.
like, if you,
Okay. If you can
So-
figure it out. Okay.
I'm going to give it a push. Try to.
I got a 30.
30. So as you use your skills and your tools to get into the lever, the entire lever mechanism is bent over on itself, and the gear work that would normally function for pushing upward is fused together, mangled from the heavy weight of the domed room trying to turn and repeatedly kind of smashing into that gear work.
Mhm.
It continues on. I need all four of you to make fresh deck saves, please.
Can I say before that? Can I Try to mend it.
You can certainly try to mend it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. Give me an insight check as you begin to contemplate mending it.
21.
21, that saves. Take half of
24.
18 points of bludgeoning damage.
24 for the insight.
Take 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
6.
Take 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
So 21 for the insight.
Okay.
Nat 20 plus 6 for 26 on the dex.
Half of 18 points of bludgeoning damage. As more and more metal, debris, skeleton,
Guys, I see
the room continuously.
I think there's a gap down here.
You can hear Talia yelling as she sees something. The metal's buckling more. It's going to take you an hour to mend it.
Oh, fuck this.
I'm trying to
Start right away.
Where
I'm
is
weapons.
At the center of
under
the
the
chamber.
well.
At the well.
Light,
I'm running to the well then.
misty
Okay.
step in.
All of you kind of like run over to where Talia's yelling, and you watch as Takit casts the light. A cone of light goes down into the chamber, and sure enough, about 25 feet down into the chamber, through all the rubble debris, there's a large black void that the light can't quite reach. But it's definitely down there, whether it's a open crag or something. It could be an escape, but as you're looking at the metal covering, it's barely 12 inches of it been buckled up and over.
I'm trying to open it.
Yeah, I mean, you
Lever,
give me a strength check as you
trying-
try to
no,
like
I'm
peel the metal up.
fulcrum and, you know,
Okay.
Use one of the I
Can
can
I
eat
squeeze
metal
in
right
there?
now.
It'd be a very tight fit. Give
It's a
me
foot. It's 12 inches.
a dex check.
You
Okay.
know what?
There, misty
Fuck it.
step.
I know what I'm doing.
Just a straight dex
Yeah,
check.
dex check for you.
I got this.
Okay.
I got this.
22.
22.
For another dex save?
Not yet.
Okay.
So that was for you to slip in. You're halfway through the fold,
Okay.
and you're able to slip inside, just barely. Like, you know how when you get into something that you
Yeah.
shouldn't get into, you feel the
Yeah.
scrape and
Scraping,
scrunches of it, and you're like,
scraping it.
oh, you hear a rib kind of pop, but
Ow.
you know, you're now inside, tucked in the inner ledge, looking 25 feet down.
Misty step.
As you look inside, knowing what you can see, how far down are you misty stepping?
As far as I can.
As far as you can see, there's a flash of light below you, Maggot,
Mhm.
and you see Takit down below you, 25 feet. He's perched on some rubble and metal, kind of fractured. Give me a dex save when you land.
I just slipped through
Maggot,
and I
is
want
there
to
a
somersault
way to
and
open
land down
I got
there.
it.
It might take
Maggot,
some
is there a way
damage.
to
But
open it up from the inside?
I'm checking.
No, he's not.
I'm checking. Ah!
Wait, hold on. We'll resolve this first. 12. Maggot, as you look down and you're getting ready to follow Takit down,
Mhm.
he completely disappears from sight. You hear him go, oh! And then what he's standing on collapses under his feet, and you can hear him like falling.
Uh,
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to.
He's got.
I'm going to
Please
try to
light your
will myself
jetpacks.
into bat form.
Oh, I love it. Give me a charisma save, if you would, please.
My charisma sucks.
Well, yeah.
19
Talia and Baruch,
plus 1,
give me
20.
dex save.
I got
'cause you're
dirty
still up
20.
above.
Okay.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay. You turn into your bat form, your lycanthrope form.
Yeah.
You have all of the knowledge of who you are,
Right.
but you're in the form of Belfry.
And I just
And you go down to follow.
to try to
See if you
grab
can
him.
catch up with him.
Right.
Okay.
oh,
Night.
plus, you said dex?
Yep.
20.
Dex save. What I do? Take half of 24 points of bludgeoning damage because there's more debris.
Set.
Half of 24 points of bludgeoning damage. There's more debris is
cast
now
polymorph.
falling. There's more tremors. What are you doing?
I cast polymorph.
We polymorph it into.
T-Rex.
Okay.
He's going to try and rip the
As
metal
soon as
off
I
of-
turn in, I just
So
hook the
as
teeth
you're
and grab
trying to
that.
peel up on the metal,
I push her away.
swear, you swear you were staring at Maggot's backside for a moment, and then suddenly you see a large bat, like a small to medium-sized bat, like just go disappear into the darkness. And then, but that's got your focus. The next thing you know is you feel saliva. You look up, and there's this giant T-Rex above you. Its mouth rears back and like digs into the metal door. Give me a strength check as a T-Rex.
Find the strength.
What is a T-Rex's strength?
30.
There's a handle, but you can't get it.
I got a big hit.
You just see this little, you see this big old T-Rex with a little Kleenex box and some lotion. It's like, no wonder we went extinct.
Is there a banner falling?
Oh,
I'm your DNA.
Fopang. Crowbars are important for dungeon delves, it turns out. Or
This isn't a
T-Rexes.
dungeon. This is a UFO delve.
You
They're
don't know
totally
that.
different. No, I'm just kidding. Good idea. I would think I'd have it in my thieves
right.
kit, but
rolled at 14. I'm looking for the stat. I'm trying to
Plus
remember.
7.
Plus 7?
So
21.
21. So you shift to the left just in time to see the T-Rex face crash into the metal doors, rip the whole thing up, and like toss it over. Just as you just see the tail end of Maggot disappear into the darkness below.
I'm coming down.
You're climbing.
Fly.
I don't think it's wide enough for me
It's
to
a
fly.
20-foot diameter well.
Oh, I didn't know it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got. You got to use it as a way to kind of like glide and shift down. You're still a T-Rex. You can drop it.
I'm going to try to make my way in there.
I
As the
cast
T-Rex.
fly.
No, does your ring look like your polymorph? T-Rex?
How big
Okay.
is the hole in the center?
It's a 20-foot diameter hole.
Yeah.
Well,
The-
T-Rex is
the-
a
the
large
void that you're
creature, I
approaching?
think.
yeah.
It's maybe 6-7 feet in diameter because
Okay.
it's clogged with debris. I'll say you. Fuck. All right. So leading the descent into this darkened, strange place wherever you're going.
All I can think of is Gandalf.
Yeah. And so Taki,
I've got my light going.
yeah, your light is in your hand and you're free falling. You hear the wind whipping past your clothing and making that whipping sound. Behind you, you can see a vicious, angry, feral bat coming at you. Just coming at you as fast as it can. And you're like,
Don't bring it in here.
yeah.
Don't bring it in here.
Yeah, you're free falling. You can see him.
I'm gonna
In front of you.
I'm gonna try to snatch
I'm
him.
also looking for a ledge to Misty step on.
Okay, give me a strength check. Once you pass through that dark
It goes
void
medium, large, and huge.
and he catches up to
Sounds
you,
good strength check.
it's a wide open chamber.
I don't know
But
what
it's-
my
It's pitch
That
black.
thing
You see
does-
no sides.
Illuminate a sphere around us.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah, exactly.
Floating in space.
Let
Yeah.
me see where I have
It goes medium, large, huge, right?
You know, that's
Size
funny. It does
The
not
T-Rex
have.
is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but for the sizes, it's medium, large, and huge.
Well, it's small, medium,
Can you
large,
click
huge,
on my
gargantuan.
animals.
No, sorry.
My
Small,
Jackson.
medium,
So,
large,
T-Rex.
huge,
What's
giant,
the back
gargantuan.
So
giant
huge
back
is
string.
5 by 5
Okay.
on
I
a table.
Giant bat?
yeah.
So technically, I fit in the hole.
Well, you fit in the well hole,
Yeah.
but not necessarily where
I
they're
did- I
passing
did a-
through.
I have a crap
Is the
roll.
problem?
Yeah.
Crap roll,
What'd you get?
like a 7.
A 7?
Okay, I thought
So,
I'd be able to get in.
As you grab onto him, you're like, yeah. You start flat. The weight of him
Yeah,
and the
it
awkward
whips
way
out.
that you catch him, the
Okay.
two of you are now tumbling in this space. As you get to the voided area, it's only about 4 feet across, and you glide through it. About 100 feet down, this little bit of light that you can see is tumbling. And every now and then you can hear, oh shit, like you can hear Taki cussing. You hear the screech of a bat, but that's the least of your worries. A very excitable and anxious T-Rex is now attempting to follow you into the well. So his full body comes crashing into the well, loosening all the debris within the well space. And now a T-Rex and maybe
Debris.
a metric ton of debris is beginning to break loose and fall through that opening.
Sorry.
Well, I'm going to hide under the T-Rex as we're falling, so the debris will hit
Yeah,
me rather
and you
than
like,
me.
and because he's heavier than the debris, he catches up to you, and you're like underneath him, and he's beginning to kind of oscillate and tumble
Now,
through the
Sure,
open
we-
space.
grab him and cast Feather Fall
Ooh, I love it. So,
because I have a.
When she comes
and
close
that on
to me,
multiple targets?
I don't know.
you can do
It's
up
a
to.
ring. No, it's a ring.
Oh,
So I don't know if I can do it.
The Ring of Featherfall is usually the person who wears it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If I grab him, would it stop it?
No.
No.
If anything, if you activate the Ring of Featherfall as you grab him,
Yeah.
you're like torn away. Ah! As he continues to plunge.
Put the ring on.
Can I put the
what
ring
I'll
on
do
him?
is when she gets close, I'll take my little T-Rex
Can
and
I put the ring on him?
He doesn't have a finger.
I have little.
You got nubby fingers.
No.
Put on a tube?
Stab them.
No. No. He has to be in his
Human.
original form for
Yeah.
him to be able to use that ring.
All right.
I have some sentience, but I'm like,
So I need deck save at disadvantage, regular deck save. I pulled the parachute.
Ooh, I got a natty 20. 23.
43. So take half of 16 points of bludgeoning damage. 3. Take 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
So you T-Rex.
As the two of you are tumbling,
yeah.
Belfry, because of your
for the reason
perception being a little bit better than Takit's, you're there's a huge body of water below you that's getting closer and closer and closer.
I'm not going to try to grab them.
Well, you're holding onto him and tumbling
Okay,
out like
wanna
you
try to
grabbed
get
onto him, but your
control.
strength just wasn't enough
Well,
to hold him.
I have a crap strength.
Yeah.
Well, even as a bad
Yeah, I mean, it just the weight, the tumble, the oscillation of the I wouldn't say terminal velocity, but you've been falling
Probably.
for a while, so you're approaching terminal velocity for sure.
Way past most of the years.
It's falling with you,
Falling with
and
us.
more of it's falling from up above.
I'm just gonna keep her kind of like I'm gonna try to hold like use
Okay.
my T-Rex and then try to use my tail to do like what the cats do and just like.
Yeah, that's fair. So you're tucked into the body of the T-Rex who's falling with you, and you can hear all the debris bouncing off the T-Rex. So with the water, you can now see the water because
Is
you're
it-
cone of light.
Is it open up to the water, or is it just straight down? The tube goes all the way into the water.
Now it's a massively large open chamber.
Okay.
Imagine you're like cave diving.
Okay.
Imagine
I
To
will
a certain
use,
degree, yeah.
I will go. I'll go. And my swarm comes.
Okay.
Okay.
You watch as a swarm of bats out of nowhere starts tornadoing around you and this other large bat that tried to carry you. And the swarm of bats get around both of you, and it has the effect of feather fall. And within moments, you slowly in the water.
And I want to actually, when we get into that chamber, I want to move us away
It's
from.
not a chamber that you
Okay.
can see. All you can see is water below you.
But it opens up past the tube, though, right?
Oh yeah, well, you're already way past
Okay,
that. Yeah.
but what I want to do is when we get through the tube, I want to push us this way so that the ship falling down doesn't fall on top
All
of
right,
us.
so you shift the
Yeah.
tornado of bats in such a way
Right.
that when you guys reach the water, in the very cold water, not icy cold, but cold water,
It's actually acid.
you're not low yet, but the two of you look up, and Taki, you get a weird look on your face as you see a huge T-Rex plunging through the air.
At that point, because we can now see his light, right?
You can see his light, and he's
I
way
have
off
light.
to your right,
I'm
and she has her light effect on as well.
All right.
gonna say,
Wait.
I would-
I got.
okay, okay.
I'm gonna let go and kind of try to smack her with my tail to fling her away.
Okay,
Ow.
take 3
You
points.
could have just flung me away.
Take 3 points.
I have tiny arms. I don't have.
And you won't look
lateral
great.
movement here.
3 points of bludgeoning damage for being kind of like tossed away from his form.
Because I wanted to make sure she got clear away from
What are you
the-
doing?
Dropping the T-Rex.
Okay, and you're back
Bring a
in
fly.
Okay.
and just shoot straight.
Okay. Give me a dex save with advantage because your ring of fly is on. He throws you away from the debris that's falling.
16 plus 6.
22. Take half of 12 points of bludgeoning damage, but you make it through the debris field. You two are flying clear of it. About 30 feet down below to your right, you can see a large bat in the water with Taki.
Oh, we're gonna head there.
Okay. The two of you, the four of you, are together in a large body of water. No sense of where the edge of this is. There's an ever expanding small pinprick of a hole about 150 feet up above you with a little bit of light bleeding through it. And you just see this steady, slow drop of debris about 100 feet to your left into the water. It's continuous.
How deep is the water? Can we feel the bottom?
No, not at all. You're flying. You're
It's like an
flying.
underwater ocean,
It's an underwater something.
lake or something. All right. You know what?
I'm gonna try
I am
to catch
gonna-
another piece of debris,
Okay.
like a small hand. You know?
Where's Maggot?
That's currently plummeting at.
Well, I mean, I can
Well,
go up and
I guess
fly
I'll
and
turn
fall
back-
the same, but
Unless I can fly out of the water.
You can fly out of the water.
Okay, I'm gonna fly out of the water.
You now see this small, medium size with a large wingspan bat.
Water
Looks like
spring.
Ghelfi. And it's like,
How did Ghelfi get? Where's Maggot?
That is maggot.
yeah,
Idiot.
he got bit by his.
I'm going to.
Never mind.
I'm going to try to find an
Did
edge.
you get hit on the head up there or
Okay.
something?
I
So,
do have memory issues.
as you fly up, these two are flying above Taki. Taki's kind of like treading water.
Keep going out of the water.
Sure.
Just sign this contract. Releasing me from my contract. That's good.
I'll.
I just activate my rocket pack.
No, it's a,
gonna be like that
it's a lake of luminary liquid. What?
The entire planet shattered.
Sounds like jet fuel.
Yeah.
So as you guys pull
Wait,
Taki,
no, it's the
so
water world with the.
So Maggot,
Holy
you
shit.
spray off the water off your body to get a little airlift, and you're coming up. You watch as Baruch and Taya quickly get either arm as
I didn't
you
say I was
begin pulling Taki up out of the water. You see this jaw, this massive jaw coming up from underneath the water. It breaches the water, the fangs. That's where we're gonna finish tonight.
It's only
Always the cliffhanger with you.
It's either a giant shark or an avalid.
Either way, it's gonna be nice.
It's
See, I want you to end it for her and ruin her night by going, you're shopping, you find the exact thing you want. And that's where we're gonna
That's
end
where
it.
we're gonna end it.
Let me and
Are you happy that I did that?
do you want me to describe it to you? Yes.
All right, everyone.
Next week I'll describe it to you.
Are we off next Tuesday? Are you here next Tuesday?
Wait,
Let's try
yeah,
to-
next Tuesday we're
the
here.
25th.
Yeah, which would
When do you guys leave?
We leave like the 1st or 2nd.
You leave July 1st.
Yeah.
So we're off July 2nd.
And you know they're gonna be.
We'll do this. So we're gonna do
Yeah,
this
that's
game
good.
next.
Probably have COVID.
So dead on the night.
Oh yeah. So let's do. We'll do
Oh.
this.
Did we say anything?
Well, not yet. So we're gonna skip AI next week, and we'll do Shattered Kingdom again next week, since this will be a really fun battle
Oh,
coming up. So.
great.
All right, everyone. Be safe, be kind. Thank you for coming out, and don't forget.
play the games.
Pretty please.
Holy shit.
I said sending. Get your asses down here.
They can't.
Yeah, they can.
How?
How do you get
The mountain is crumbling,
and,
and the vents that we came through
we're all fucked up.
collapsed.
They just have to follow the